Just let your soul glow. Just let it shine through. Just let your soul, baby, feeling oh so silky smooth. Just let it shine through. Just let your soul glow. Soul glow.
That means that we punched our ticket to go try to win the Super Bowl, and that's it. We got one game at a time, starting at 1 o'clock on Sunday. Love y'all, boys. Love you. Love you. I'll go to war with every single one of you, every fucking game, all right? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Win.
Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have me douse, not what I'm about, have your fucking cloud. It be raining now, I keep making sound, go another round, bitch I'm legend bound, can't stop me now. You don't wanna fuck with me, a slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can. 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 It's showtime.
Welcome to Monday Night Uncensored. I'm your host, Tommy, to the highest degree, to the TOP from the 313. And by my side is my main man, Mr. King Aramis from the Post Podium Podcast. What up, Aramis?
What's going on, bro? How you been?
Man, chilling. Well, jeez, how I been? I don't know. This Bills team got me dying over here, man. They're killing me. This roller coaster of a ride we're on in 2025. Ah, boy. Anyways, but tonight we have a special guest, Aramis. We have a special guest in the house, Arthur Moats, known as the Legend Killer. What up, Arthur?
Man, what is the word? First off, shout out to the intro. Man, I was over here jamming backstage. I'm like, you got the soul glow. We got Josh getting the guys going. I'm like, all right now. Shout out over here, man. So, hey, appreciate you both, man, for having me on tonight, man. Absolutely.
Nah, man, I appreciate you, bro, for taking the time out and joining us tonight. So, man, dude, let's dive right into it. For all the youngins out there that don't know about Arthur Moats, the Legend Killer, because you know we got some youngins in here. We got some youngins. So you know what I want to do? This is what I want to do. All right, I want to take it back. I do want to take it back a little bit in time. So let's take a trip down memory lane with you. Start off with how you got into football and then where it all began, man.
Yeah, man. So for me, started out playing football early. I was probably about 4 or 5 years old in that time frame. Originally from the 757, though, man. Virginia area. Born in Norfolk, raised in Portsmouth, Virginia. And yeah, man, from there, college ball was at James Madison. Get the, 4 years there, played where I'm supposed to play. Then we get that lucky day in 2010 when my phone rang. Oh, and in fact, I remember Mr. Buddy Nick. Shout out to Buddy Nicks, wherever you are. I appreciate you calling my phone that day, man. Absolutely. Buddy Nick, so it's the general manager at the time, gives me that phone call, man. And before I know it, I'm pulling up and I'm in Buffalo. And it's just like, wow, dream coming true. But, that's the condensed version of it, man. For me, though, like I said, a lot of talented people in the area where I was from, but always chasing it, right? The same hometown as Bruce Smith, right? The all-time sack king. So you talk about dudes, man, from the area that you know of. It's like, yeah, that was one of those guys, man. But, that was my journey, man, in terms of just the condensed version of it, getting to where we are right now, though.
Okay. Did you play Pee-wee football or anything like that?
Heck
when you were
man. So shoot.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't know you want me to break it down like that. So heck
yeah.
Man,
No, I'm breaking. Listen, we break
it, bro. Break it down. Okay.
We breaking it down, man. I want to know. Were you sitting on the couch as a kid going, damn, OJ? I mean, what were you watching?
it starts like this. Then we're gonna have to take you back to Park Place, okay? It's specifically Azalea Gardens Pirates, okay? That's what we first started playing at. Yeah.
I'm gonna do this for you. Hold on.
We're sending you back to the future.
All right, here you go. So, go ahead.
It is. So it started all the way back then, man. I remember first time ever playing football, flag football to start it off. I was getting whooped by a young lady. I wish I knew her name.
Oh.
She was whooping me to the point where my dad, he would be like, look, man, if you get a single flag today, you'll get $1. Because the girl was just whooping me. I might have got $2 all season. Catch my drift? Like it was one of those start out, you know? Yeah. But from there, it was like you start to learn a little bit more. You start to figure things out. But then from there, I remember that following year, it was like, all right, you can play flag again, or we can go do the physical thing. And I was like, yo, I'm a physical guy. So that's when I remember, hopping onto that thing early on and being in pads literally, like I said, 5-6 years old up until I retired. Like that was what, I always wanted to do was hit. And when we talk about the vision of where football came from, man, I'm sitting at my house. My next door neighbor, who at the time is only a couple years older than me, plays rec ball, but I see a helmet with the star up there, right? And then I go and I turn my TV on, and of course, who do I see? It's this TV with the star and this dude's 21, high stepping and all this stuff. And I'm like, oh. So granted, at that time, I'm thinking that my neighbor plays for the Cowboys and my neighbor is Deion Sanders. Trust me, Deion Sanders was nowhere near my neighbor, nowhere close to ever being that. But in my mind, that was what that was. And from there, it really just sparked this passion. And that was, the driving thing for me that just kept me wanting to show up every day. I was like, I want to be that dude, the guy with the bandana on doing the high stepping. Yeah, with the starter. Like that was, where it really got created. And from there was just, chasing that dream every chance I got.
Okay. So Deion was one of the guys you kind of looked up to, like when you were younger. That was one of your favorite players, basically.
Listen,
one of your dudes.
Deion to this day, like I remember being so excited the first time he followed me on Twitter. I was just like, oh my God. Like that's prime to me. You feel me? Like, because that was one of my guys that I idolized. It was one of the guys that I always wanted to kind of emulate his confidence, right, in the playmaking. And then as I got older, I started to figure out, hey, man, I'm not a 4-2 guy. I'm not a DB. I'm more of a linebacker. I'm the hitting type. And that's where you see the 52 come in, because Ray Lewis at that time with the Ravens, I was like, you know what, man, this dude, man, he's sideline to sideline, makes so many tackles. And then you hear him talk. This is when NFL Network was first coming along. And I remember being more of an introvert, right? Not being the guy that wants to be rah-rah, lead the team. It's just like, hey, man, follow me. But my coaches would be like, man, we need you to be more vocal. And I would watch NFL Network and watch Ray Lewis. It would be taking whatever he would say and verbatim said it to my guys on Friday night and then on Saturdays. And it'd be like, yo, it was the best pregame speeches. It's not what I demand. It's what the game demands. Listen, Aramis, you got to be willing to die for this thing, man. Huh? I'll bleed for you. You willing to bleed for me today? You be like, bro, what? We 18, bro.
Did you get called out for that? Did somebody be like,
all right, hold on. I think I heard that from somebody.
They would all go with it, because you got to think at that time, it's like, man, if this is, how the guys view as like one of the best players on the team or the best player on the team, if he's fired up and this what he said, man, you just, all right, yeah. And then I go out there and I make my play. So it's like, okay, yeah, let's really believe it. Let's really lock in with it. But man, this whole time it was literally just what Ray Lewis has said. I'm watching. I'm like, okay, Ray says this. Ray does it like this. All right, Ray hint it like that. All right, cool. I'm gonna do it this way then. And that was, how I kind of, shaped my leadership, or shaped how I could be vocal. So it was a combination of that Deion Sanders confidence, that loud, but then it was also that, hey man, Ray gonna make you feel like you about to die for this thing, baby, because you got to. You got to be
it's war.
With it. Yeah,
it's war. It's war, dude. Hey, Ray was a beast, bro. They don't make many Rays, man.
No, not at all,
love Ray from the U, by the way, from the U.
Yeah, come on,
now. Dude. A lot of them boys were game wreckers, man, from the U, man. But shout out to Ray, man, for sure. All right, so you get to JMU, right? Were you a walk on, or you got recruited over there?
Yeah, so for me, man, I got recruited. I was fortunate, man. Coming out, I had about 13, 14 scholarship offers, full scholarship offers to pretty much any Conference USA, MAC school, in any of the top 1AA schools, on the East Coast. So at that time, James Madison was a 1AA, but they had just won the FCS National Championship. Delaware, who was also at that time a 1AA, UMass, all these schools that are now, 1A making noise, they were all the ones, at that time recruiting me. Then in terms of, you know, the 1As that I was considering, Temple, because Al Golden had just took the job there. And I'm like, it is Al Golden. Like, come on, bro. Like, he know defense, he knows linebackers and stuff like that. So I was considering there Kent State, but it was like, man, it's cold. That's all I kept thinking. I'm like, it's so cold. I'm from Virginia Beach, like by the water, where it's like a cold day. It's 30s. Man, we got a little dust and shut the city down. Like that was what I was going through. So me going to Kent State in December for an official visit, that was a tough one. I was like, yo, I don't have enough. Like I'm freezing. And then of course to fast forward to 4 years later, be a Buffalo is like, yo, it's crazy, right?
That was
of all places, right? For you to land, right?
But that was
coldest, windiest. Right?
But that was the one thing I remembered about the Kent State visit. I'm just like, yo, I was so cold. And I was like, yep, I'm probably not gonna go here, man. But this was cool. It was fun. So, you know, for JMU, the reason, you know, I ended up deciding on there was two things. First, I'm at a football camp in Maryland. I want to visit there for this like summer, guys getting ready to be seniors, but it was kind of like that recruiting thing, but they would have smaller colleges up there to help out. So one of the coaches was one of the guys at JMU, and he was like, yo, man, just consider my school, man. Check it out, man. I know, you know, where you're from. It's a lot of guys from your area that go to my school, and we're pretty good. So check us out. And at the time, I'm like, bro, if it ain't 1A, I'm not hearing it.
Right.
But then my pops, he was like, yo, man, let's just go take the visit. You got all these dudes, all the all-state, all Virginia dudes that you grew up playing against, competing with. It's like a lot of them dudes are out there. So I'm like, all right, let's go take the visit. And when I take the visit, when I tell you I fell in love with the campus, fell in love with the team, because literally, and this is before you get the transfer portal and NILs and all that, it's like, man, I'm looking at these dudes and they're like, yeah, I've been here for the past 3 years, been here for the past 4 years. And it's all guys from my area, all the guys that I know of, whether they were playing with me a couple years ahead of me. And it's like, dang, I remember how nice these guys were. Shoot, man, maybe I could come here and compete with them. And who knows, maybe we'll do something special. And because they had just won the national championship, they were already having NFL teams down there. They were playing on ESPN. So I'm saying to myself, well, all right, I could go 1A and maybe sit for a year or two. Or I could go to a smaller school, play right away, but I'm still going to be on ESPN. I'm still going to have, you know, NFL scouts at my practices and stuff like that. So if I still want to go to the NFL, that is always going to be available to me, even at a JMU. And that was kind of, you know, how I decided on it. And it was a lot warmer, and it was only 3 hours away from the crib on top of that. So it just felt a little bit easier to transition to there. And, you know, that was ultimately why I made that decision.
Okay.
So quick question. So did you, because we've heard some NFL players talk about, you know, the bologna sandwiches and stuff like that. Was that you in college? Were you like cutting bread in half and making 2 sandwiches?
Look,
you know,
look, no exaggeration. My first summer at JMU, I survived on the Walmart Great Value sandwich loaf. You know the sandwich loaf because it's thinner slices of bread, so you get way more. 2 packs of bologna, okay, because I could do one bologna on the bread, and then I would have the big like 100-pack of ices because that was going to be my drink / my snack. You know what I mean? So that was ultimately how I survived.
Those are great, absolutely. By the way.
Yeah, all right, if you know, heck yeah, man. So that was my approach. That was what I did, and I literally ate that every single day. It was like, yo, you're a serial killer. Why do you eat that? It's like, yeah, but it's all I could afford right now. All right, and if I needed more money because NIL wasn't a thing, heck, in my time, if they gave you 50 cents, you're ineligible for the season. We were donating plasma. We were going to the little plasma place to donate the blood. We like, yo, take it up out of us so we can get some money. Yeah. You know how it is, man. When you're in college, you find whatever way you can to make legit money, man. So that was our approach. And that was how we would, you know, pay bills, get little snacks here and there. But yeah. I'm broke college student era. Yeah. This new era? Oh, this new era is different. Oh, yeah. It's way different now. Yeah.
How do you feel about that? By the way, how do you feel about the new era in college football, the NILs and all that?
So love it for players specifically, hate it for what is done to college football as a whole. And I say that because I remember being on that side where it's like, yeah, man, 4 of us in the car and we scrambling around trying to find 4 quarters to go split some nuggets. And it's like, man, you can't even have your coaches help you out because they'll get in trouble. You'll get in trouble. And that felt extreme. So the flip side is, all right, yeah, man, we know we're making money off you guys anyway. So now we'll give you a piece of that pie. Well, we created this piece of that pie without any type of guidelines, any type of accountability ramifications. So now it's weaponized, right? You got some guys that are like, hey, man, I can hop from school to school and make $500,000 to maybe $1 million before, you know, I'm 21, 22 years old. If I make it to the NFL, great, but at least I know I can secure this type of money now. And that's the part where, it makes it a little bit messy. And not everybody does it, but enough people are doing it to where now you can see the impact that it has. And even, at a school like JMU, it's like, okay, your coach leaves, man, you're going to have 50 to 60 new players on that roster every season. That's way different than what it was in the past, where it's like, yo, you might only have 10 to 15 new people. Heck, if you had 15 new guys on your roster and they were transfers, you're like, bro, what's going on with your school? Now that's common practice. So traditions get lost. When you talk about the continuity, that gets lost. It becomes more of an all-star feel with some of these teams. And now it's like, which of the group can start to buy in? And even with that, the teams that are still having the most success are still the ones that are able to keep those guys together for a year or two and build it, because that's, the way that this sport is too reliant upon, the group versus one person being able to just stand above and, all right, man, he's the best player on the field, so he's going to win every game. Right. If that was the case, we'd be undefeated in Buffalo, right? Because we know Josh is a bad dude, but it takes everybody. Special teams matters. Defense matters. Offense matters. Even the little pieces in the offense matter. And that's, the part that gets hurt when it's constant turnover, mass turnover, the way that we're seeing right now. So I don't see it changing anytime soon, unfortunately, because from the player's perspective, where's the incentive to walk back any of this leverage that you have now, when prior to this, the NCAA was so heavy-handed? Think about how they treated Reggie Bush. Think about even after the fact. It's like, bro, why would we ever want to give you any of that power back? Even me as a guy that's retired, and I'm looking at it from both perspectives. It's like, for the love of the game, yeah. But for you guys, it's like, no, because, man, you saw what they did when they had it the first time. You willing to trust them again? That's tough. Yeah. So that's why I'm just kind of like in that in-between limbo with the whole situation right now.
Right, you see both sides do it. Real quick, get some of the comments real quick. Jan Sports, another friend of the channel. Go check him out. Also, Jan Sports. He says, I'm going to make Arthur feel old, but he visited my school when I was in 7th grade. He's 27 years old, right? Come on, man.
Whoa. Hey, look. At least tell me what school. God dang.
Hey,
7th grade. Oh.
Jarek, let us know the school, man. Let us know the school.
Cut him deep.
now you already put it out there. Really flawed. That's my girl, man. She actually got this whole thing going tonight with Arthur Moats joining Mafia. So
yes, indeed.
Yeah, shout out to her, man. Go check her out. Really flawed football. She's putting some good work in with Arthur Moats. Actually, they do a lot of work together. So go check them out.
Absolutely, man.
And let's see here.
He really got me. Hey,
yeah. I'm waiting on it.
Caught me off guard. I'm like, yo, you're 27. I was hoping he'd be like, I'm in high school right now.
There it is. Pinnacle Charter School.
Yeah, I know the charter school. Absolutely. Facts. Facts on that, man. Shoot, that was actually the first charter school I had ever interacted with. And I remember saying to myself, like, yo, what is a charter school? I was like, is this like a private school? It's like a public school. And they're like, nah, this is different. I was like, oh, all right. It's like in between right here. Okay. But no, it was mad love in there though, man. Shout out to everybody over there, man, for a fact.
There you go. All right, so
going, man. I like that right there. This is the fun part about this. I get the nostalgia. I was joking with Aramis on the front end with the jersey. I'm like, dude, that's the OG. Like, that's my era of the cut right there. Like,
isn't that great?
Reebok, come on, man. Like the nostalgia hit me, man.
Yeah. Bring it back. Bring it back, man. You know, it's weird. Some people hate hate those jerseys.
A lot.
It's like a lot, right? But dude, I'll tell you what, for a lot of people that hate those jerseys, when you be watching Bills games, you see a ton of those jerseys.
Hey, look. And I'll take it one step further. For them to hate that jersey, they sure love that red helmet, though. You hear them all the time. Hey, man, when we get the red helmet back, can I get the red helmet back? That's our era. You don't get to take the red helmet off them jerseys right there, man. All right? Love them jerseys, man. Right. Love them jerseys. Yep. Oh, man.
All right, so let's get into the draft 2010. Yeah. Talk about the draft, man. Talk about your leading up to the draft. Like, were you anxious? Like, what visits did you have from NFL teams? Was Buffalo one of them? Just get into the whole draft process, man.
Yeah, man. So my draft process was really cool, man. I was the small school guy, right? So initially, just being talked about was a big deal. So I remember, it started for me my junior year. That was when I really started to have a lot of just NFL attention. We had our little junior day. It was snowing, and I ran a 4.52 in the snow, and the scouts go crazy. They're like, yo, run it again. I ran another one. They're like, okay, you're legit. So that whole senior season, I just remember having agents constantly hit me up. I remember seeing scouts at my practices, road games. They want to talk. It's like, yo, man, like, all right. So you're feeling the energy, man, all right, something special could be happening. This is something that I've always dreamed of since I started playing football. Remember, I told you, I thought my neighbor was Deion Sanders for the Dallas Cowboys. So for me, I'm like, bro, I have to get to the league. Like, that's all I want to do. So, I get to that senior year part, and I'm like, in the middle of the year, I'm having a great season, man. I ended up winning the Buck Buchanan Award, which is, at that time for the National Defensive Player of the Year for FCS. And it was a big deal. So, I get that award, and then I get a combine invite, and it's like, oh snap, bro! Like, nobody from JMU had a combine invite. And they're like, yo, this is the top 300, like, period. And I'm like, okay, so it's really a big deal. So I remember I'm leaving to go train, and I'm going to train. I'm up in Jersey. Shout out to Test Sports, man. That's why I was training with a lot of other NFL guys at that time, and it was just starting to feel more real because it's like, dude, you're really doing this process while you're still having meetings. You're still talking to people. It's like, all right. So, I get an all-star invite, go to the combine. And it's like, dude, you get to the combine and it is insane. I'm talking like everything that you envision it, right? Every who's who from a coaching standpoint, general manager standpoint, every who's from a player standpoint. I remember the first player I'm seeing when I'm there is Tim Tebow. You got to think who Tim Tebow was at that time, bro. This is like the Messiah walking around, bro. What?
Right.
Listen.
I forgot he was around your team. Yes.
Come on, Tommy. Listen, I vividly remember the first time we walk into the cafeteria, like this little eating area in the at the combine, and everything's an evaluation, right? They tell you all the time, bro. They want to look at how you walk, how you talk, who you interact with, what you do, right? So you got all the healthy superfood on one side, all the junk non-healthy food on the other side. Now, me, I'm a junk food guy, right? I eat what I eat, and I work out extra hard to make it work. Mm-hmm. So we all walk in. Tebow goes to the right, to the healthy side. You see the masses. Everybody just follow over. And I'm like, oh, it's like that. And I remember to myself like, hey, but look, bro, I want these barbecue Lay's chips. I'm going to go like this. And I went to the left. I got my chips. I was good. But just seeing the Tebow mania at that time, it's like peak height of heights, right? Fresh out of Florida, man. So that was like a crazy experience. But then I remember going to my meetings, and it's like, okay, I have a meeting with the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I just remember, man, feeling like I'm in a FBI terrorist investigation because I'm sitting in one singular chair, and you got head coach, general manager, position coach, coordinator, and they all sitting on the other side, but it's dark. And it's a camera on you, and you like, bro, what is going on, man? And they look, and they ask you everything. I'm talking about stuff that nobody's supposed to know about. I'm like, yo, who did you talk to even know to ask me that? Like,
so do you think they do research? Like they basically research you?
For a fact, this is so. I actually went and talked to some of the people that had gotten talked to, not from that Jaguars interview, but I had another situation with the Niners where Mike Singletary, right? He's flying me out there for my visit, and he's super intense. That was another one. I will never forget that visit. I'm just like, bro.
Dude, one you had to be sweating. Mike Singletary, dude? Oh, dude.
He's already intense. He's a linebacker. I'm trying to play linebacker, right? I'm showing up. I'm in a full suit because after the combine, it's like, bro, I don't have to work out again. Like, my numbers were dope. You know what I mean? And from, just respectfully, the guys I was competing against, it was like, oh, you're top 10 in all these things. You're fine. So I didn't have to go work out on my visits. But when I go to this visit, I'm in my suit because it's like, yeah, I'm gonna look the part. Mm-hmm. Man, I won't forget this. He gets up from behind his office desk, right? Because we in here, we talk. He's like, yo, we better play football. I'm like, yeah, man, heck yeah, man, I'm good. Da 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 da. And he gets up. He's like, yo, show me your linebacker stance. I'm like,
oh no,
like, my linebacker. I'm like, bro, I'm in a 3-piece suit. Bro, I'm talking like OG with the vest, and it's the old school.
Wow.
Like, I'm talking Steve Harvey suits because that was the time frame right there. It's a big body, yeah. So I'm like, what you mean? Show you my linebacker stance. He's like, yo, get up and show me your stance. And I just remember thinking to myself, like, yo, this man is a psycho. I'm in my suit, 3-piece suit, trying to get in the stance. And I'm just like, yo, and he's critiquing my stance. And I'm just like, bro, what are we doing? But I would never forget that one. I was like, yo, this dude was crazy. When I left, I was like, yo, he's crazy. That's all I kept thinking. Like, this dude is crazy. But he was another one that had reached out to people. So after that visit, my high school coach, he's like, yo, bro, you know, Singletary had called me up ahead of time to know, you know, what you were like, what you did this, you know, anything that I needed, that he felt I needed to know, or I felt they needed to know. It's like, I'm like, dang, so what else you telling me? It's like, y'all told me this. I'm like, oh, all right, cool. And, you know, that was the thing that I realized. But these coaches, these organizations, these are multi-million-dollar investments. They, as much as we think it's a casual, they're just pulling a name out the hat. It's not. They know everything. They do a ton of research. Heck, we were laughing because, you know, I'm also part of the Facebook era where they would have the fake pages popping up. This is back when it was only supposed to be college email addresses, right? Okay. So you couldn't get on Facebook without being in college when I was out there, right? Oh, wow. So you would know at that time, like, yeah, man, these are all like college students. But what the NFL would have like fake profiles to get your information because they couldn't have access to your Facebook page. So it was like, yo, this random person pop up, and of course they look insane. You're like, all right. And at 18 or 21, 22, you're like, oh yeah, of course. You hitting all the friend, yeah, like that, yeah, and you're like, yo, they getting all your info. So that's when they would start telling us, hey, look, man, if you don't know these people, you need to take them off. And then from there, it's like, all right, start going through your social media. Anything that you could take off that thing that you need to clean off. So that was, you know, everything that we were experiencing during that draft process, man. So it was nuts. It was super intense. But my visits, man, my first visit was actually Buffalo. I'll never forget it, man. Okay. Shout out to the Bills, man. They brought me up, had Lenovo pizza. Don't forget that either. Shout out, you know, they're gonna have you with the Lenovo. Yep. Yeah. So I had the Lenovo pizza, man. It was a vibe. And I remember even on that visit, man, Lenovo pizza, they took us to the Buffalo Chop House. And on my visit, I'm actually here with JPP, Jason Pierre-Paul, Russell Okong, and it was a quarterback. I want to say he was out of West Virginia during that time frame, man. But it was a cool experience, man, as a whole, being up there. And then from there, like I said, I took the visit to San Fran right after Buffalo. So it was, you know, go from East Coast, flew out to the West Coast. And then from there, when I came back, my last visit was with the Eagles. And I remember on that visit, man, me and Brandon Grab just joking about, dang, bro, we kind of short compared to all these other dudes. We was like, hey, man, but we could be all right. And then, you know, to see the credit this dude that had, I'm like, holy smokes, man. But going on that visit, they had it was Trent Cole and Jason Babineau. And this is back when they were running that like wide nine. So for me and obviously Brandon Graham, BG was like, yo, man, we're cooking this thing now. Like, this be all right. So all of that, you know, is what I'm going through and processing, you know, doing this pre-draft process. But because you're the small school guy, everything is just awesome because you're not expected to be here. You know, you're not supposed to be here. So it's like, dude, for you to be here, man, you're different. So that was kind of how I was, you know, feeling and experiencing this whole process. So it was just cool. And then from there, it was like, man, just get if you could get your name called on draft day, man, it is a blessing. I don't care if it's the first call or the last call. Just get it called, man.
Absolutely. Just
and I was one of the fortunate ones, man. Absolutely.
Yeah, just to make it there is an achievement, but it's crazy. So where were you at when you got the call? Like, were you at home with family or? Okay.
So for us, man, we, you know, did like any normal family would do when you think you're going to get drafted. We threw a draft party, of course. Yep, threw a draft party. And back then, this was when, you know, they were making the draft. They changed it from was it the 2-day to the 3-day event. So it was like the first round was only on day 1, then it was second and third round, and then it switched to the 4th through 7th. So it was like, you know what, we ain't worry about the first round, of course. We ain't tripping on that. That second day, though. Oh, a little bit different. All right. So second day, we go to Buffalo Wild Wings, of course, of all places, right? I'm just like, yo, all these little things popping up that I don't even realize. It's like, yo, these are all signs, right? So from Buffalo Wild Wings, you know, second round goes by. We ain't tripping on that. But I remember, you know, the Kansas City Chiefs, they're one of the teams that had talked to me a lot pre-draft wise. And I thought that, hey, man, Kansas City, San Fran, and Philadelphia really were the teams that I thought I was going to go to. Even though I took the visit to Buffalo, even though Buffalo had came down to my pro day, Buffalo talked to me at the combine. Buffalo was around a lot. In my mind, it was just like, oh no, man, like it's not Buffalo. Like I just never could like put that. It never like computed to me, right? So, like I said, man, we had Buffalo Wild Wings. It had to be the call. It had to be right because I'm just like, I'm just saying, like, throughout this whole process, I remember even
man.
in it and even reflecting on it, I'm like, I never once thought of Buffalo, even though they were. I even go back and look at pictures of me at my pro day, and I'm like, dude, that's such and such with the Bills. Oh, that's the other one with the. It's like, bro, they had multiple cats there for you. I was like, yo. But in my mind, it was so just like so fast paced, and you kind of fall into that trap of, all right, I want to go here because this is where these type of players are. And at the time, I remember Patrick Willis with the Niners. So part of me was like, yo, that'd be dope
FSU,
to play there,
right?
Yeah.
FSU, okay.
Yeah, so it was like part of me was like, yo, it'd be dope to go play there. And it was like, all right, man, I'm thinking of in Philadelphia. I talked about Trent Cole. It's like, bro, at that time, man, Trent was a dog. Like he's cooking folks as a pass rush. So I'm like, yo, man, how crazy would that be? And then with Kansas City, it was just like, yo, it was Kansas City. Like for me, oddly enough, I was a Priest Holmes fan.
Oh wow!
I know.
Okay.
Even when I used to play Madden on the game, he's like, "Yo, give me the Chiefs and rock with Priest Holmes." So
he was straight on that though.
He had his run. He had his run though. He did. Shout out to him. He had his run.
So for me, I'm like, yo, I'm thinking of all of those things, and I just never really locked in with Buffalo like that. But like I said, man, this whole time, everything is there. So Buffalo Wild Wings, where we're having the draft party at. Second round goes by, nothing. Third round, like I said, I had been talking to Kansas City. They even reached out to me that night. Hey, man, we got all the correct info. I'm like, oh, shoot, man, I know I'm about to get the call. Nothing. So we're like, all right, cool. Now, because we spent the whole day at Buffalo Wild Wings, I'm like, look, man, let's do a little bit chiller because we probably will get drafted. We don't know when, for the next day, rounds 4 through 7. So we go to my uncle's house. And we, have some cameras over there and stuff like that as well. And I remember that fourth round starting out. And as it's progressing through, Niners on the clock. And I'm thinking to myself, hey, bro, Mike Singletary had me show him my linebacker stance in a 3-piece suit. I know I'm about to get the call.
Right.
Got to happen, right? No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But they decided to take this dude from Penn State. I think his name was like Navarro Bowman or something. And of course, at the time, I'm like, terrible pick. Who is this guy? He's not even nice. He's not like he's Sean Lee or anything. Fast forward. And I'm like, hey, man, that was an amazing pick. Whoever made that pick, pay him extra. Okay. Great decision. Great decision. But at the time, I remember being hot. I'm like, yo, who the heck you gonna take this dude, man? Oh, I ain't trying none of this, man. I'm hot. So fifth round starts, and I'm like, all right. And it was 2 players in the 5th round that got selected that really got me going. One was a punter out of Virginia Tech. I'll never forget, punter out of Virginia Tech. I think he went to Tampa Bay. It was like Brent Bruce or something like that. And then the one that really got me, because I had in my mind, I'm like, okay, if it's a 1A guy getting taken ahead of me, that's fine, right? So with Navarro Bowman, I'm like, hey, it's Penn State. If y'all want to go that route, cool. It's not new to me, right? I do what I do. But I was like, if you take a 1AA defender before me, oh, you're tripping. Because there is nobody at this level that could even come close to me. Like, that was just how I felt because of the production. I'm like, yo, y'all got to be playing. So, shout out, with all due respect to my dog, Larry Hart. But yeah, man, Larry Hart, Central Arkansas. I'm like, bro, ain't no way y'all just took this dude over me. And that's what Jacksonville did. So, I was very, 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 pissed off when that thing happened. And I remember, man, my family, everybody's down. And they're like, yo, man, we know what this feels like. And I'm like, actually, y'all don't know what this feels like, man. I'm on TV. My name has set. Now, let me paint the picture. My name, you know how Mel Kiper has his best available, right?
Yes.
Prior to the draft, Mel Kiper had a segment where he's talking about his best available draft steals, and he highlights me. He gives me a full breakdown, rundown, highlights. I'm going crazy when it happens, right? So come draft day, I'm sitting as his best available player. No, not short list of best available players. I'm up there for like rounds 5, 6, or excuse me, it was like end of 4, 5, and then I'm like, yo. So when I'm seeing these dudes get drafted before me, I'm like, man, what is going on? So I'm hot. I leave the people. I go upstairs to the room. I'm like, yo, I'm in my little cousin's room by myself with the door shut, having a pity party. In my mind, the draft is over. I'm no longer playing football. I don't even have the issue of the Canadian League, right? I tell people all the time, man, go take that, man. If that's over, go take that. But for me at that time, I'm like, yo, I can't. Because I was supposed to be the one. I was the chosen one. Oh, so in my mind, I'm like, dang, I got to go get me a job at Walmart. with all due respect to Walmart people, because at the time in Portsmouth, that was like the big thing. They had just opened a brand new Walmart. I'm like, bro, I'm gonna be working at Walmart. God dang. And I'm like really in that mode, like just trying to get locked in.
You're already looking at your future.
Like I was there. I'm whole
Right.
pity party, whole meltdown, all the confidence, everything's just like, yo, it's done. It's done. Like my life's work has been ruined all because of today, right? And then my phone rings. And initially it's the New York Giants. And they're like, yo, man, we're not picking right now, but we got to pick a little bit later. We're going to come and get you. I'm like, oh, snap. So I'm hyped. I'm like, all right, bet. Let me start, getting the mojo up, right? So I'm about to walk down the stairs. My phone rings again. It's the Atlanta Falcons. Hey, man, we about to pick in a couple of picks. We're going to be taking you, man. Hope you're excited. I'm like, what? So now I'm starting to like run down the stairs. I'm like, yo, y'all got to know this thing, right? Whole time, though, the Bills are on the clock. And they can't call me because I'm on the phone. So they call my mother's phone. God rest her soul. They call my mother's phone, Buddy Nix. And they're downstairs going crazy because they're like, yo, where is he at? Yo, you getting drafted right now. And I'm coming down the stairs like, yo, the Falcons about to pick me. Yo, check this out, man. And they're like, no, the Bills are on the phone right now. I'm like, what? So I bangs the phone on the Atlanta guy. I'm like, yo, click. Don't even say bye. Grab the phone for Buddy Nix. And he's like, hey, man. He's like, hey, Arthur, I'm Buddy Nix, man. We drafted you, man. Welcome to the Bills. And I remember, man, running to the TV. And at that part of the draft, they weren't even talking about me. In the 6th round, they started talking about, oh, these are some of the big people. Bro, yep. So I just see my name flash. And I just have like the full meltdown moment. Like I just remember like falling down, man, overcome with emotion. And my little cousin, man, shout out to DJ, man, my favorite little cousin, man. This dude has followed me like for rec ball, college, everywhere. I just remember him being on top, be like shaking, like, bro, you did it, cuz you did it. Like, yo, you finally here, man. And it was just one of those names that you would never forget. And after that, I remember getting up, my pops walking around the corner with a Bills hat. I still have that hat to this day. Dude. In my mind, I still didn't know how he had that. I'm like, yo, he's a Magic man. He knew. Now, granted, after the fact, I'm like, you probably had all 32 teams, but I never asked him. Right. I like the story better as he just walked around the corner with the Bills hat. It's way better because he sure walked around the corner. He had that Bills hat, and I'm just like, it's destiny. And I got to put the hat on draft day, like everything that you see on TV. And it was just, like I said, one of the moments that I would never forget, one of the moments that my family would never forget. And it was just cool to, be a part of that and for my family to be able to share that moment as well.
No, that's awesome, dude. Do you know who called the pick? Did they tell you? Did they ever tell you?
I actually do not know, and I wish I would have actually went to find that out, man. I never. You should. When I tell you, I was so excited, dude. I was just so hyped. But you're right, because it had to be somebody cool. I'm like, yo, who was it, man? Right. We got to be connected somehow. And being a person that actually has got to go to the draft and call picks out, I'm like, oh, bro, that's a cool. I still talk to the guys. I'm like, yeah, I drafted you, right? Like, it's pretty dope, bro. And they're like, yeah, you call my name, bro. I'm like, yeah. So I would like to know that now. That is actually cool. I'm gonna have to go look that up, man.
You see, you should.
I just remember being so happy, man. I was just so happy. Like, dude, it did. The funny thing was this, right? You ready? Bills draft me. Everything is good, and I got probably a week before I'm about to head up to Ricky minicamp and stuff. Now, granted, remember I've already been up to Buffalo, right? I've already been up there. In my mind, though, I'm going to New York City. Yeah. In my mind, I'm going to New York City because you got to think pre-draft process. I'm not even knowing where I'm going because you're constantly on the road. You're constantly flying, right? It's like, hey, you wake up, you're in this city. All right, they're gonna fly you all here. Okay, this team. So you're just constantly going. All-Star game, combine. It's like, yo, so you're in places, but you don't really know you're in these places. You're just like, I'm here. And I'm just like, yo, I'm about to go to New York City, man. I can't wait, man. I'm gonna go get me this whip. Man, I remember I got me a Dodge Charger SRT8, right? I'm like, bro, I can't wait. I'll be driving this all the time, Buffalo. It's be perfect. Man, that thing lasts about 3 months in Buffalo. All right.
Yeah. You had no idea, did you?
That's right.
You had
wasn't
no
going nowhere
idea.
You spinning around in circles. What's going on?
I did this about 2 times. I said, yep. So I remember walking to the dealership. I had to go get me a Buick Rendezvous. I would never forget, man, that was my Buffalo car. That was what I drove. That was my day. I would never forget. I was like, yo, I'm going to New York City. I'm like, God, not even close. Not even close, man. All right. But yeah.
You learn real quick.
Absolutely, man.
Real quick about weather. So
this is different, man.
When the draft's over, how does that all work? Do you get to meet the rest of the Bills rookies that they drafted?
so-
Like, do you guys all
Yeah,
get
so
together?
the way it worked out, initially you don't talk to anybody, right? You see the draft, your class just via and at that time it wasn't big on internet. It was just kind of like watching it on TV. You see your class that way, but we didn't even know how to reach out to everybody just like that because it wasn't like how social media is today, right? I remember Twitter becoming like bigger in 2010, 2011, 2012 when I'm already in the league. Like that was like the big thing, right? That's Bill's Mafia blew up, right? Yeah. Shout out to Dell and company, right? So to me, it was like you knew of some of them, but I didn't really meet any of them until I got to Buffalo. I remember, you land and it's like, yo, this is where you're going to be staying. They paired me with Danny Batten. That was my roommate. So all the draft picks had to stay with each other. So
wow. Okay.
Like I said, for me, mine was Danny Batten, but everybody else we're all kind of in the same little complex. I would name it, but I don't want to be throwing that out there and people pulling up on the rookies be staying there because same two spots. I'm like, y'all still in the same spot? Yep, same two spots. I'm like, all right.
Danny Batten, he was right after you, actually, 6th round.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And once again, we laughed because I told you about the award I won, the Buck Buchanan Award. He was also in the running for that. And his perspective was like, bro, he couldn't believe who I was. He's like, yo, your numbers were so insane. He was trying to figure out what I was doing. He was like, yo, who are you? Because he's like, yo, you got 90 something tackles as a DN and 23 and a half for loss. It's like, bro, I play DN as well. And my numbers aren't even close to that. And, we just had kind of have that like bond. And I was remember thinking to him like, bro, but you strong, bro. Like, I ain't strong like that. Like, I'm more quick. I'm fast, dude. So it was just fun, like having that bond and that balance. And then you meet the rest of the guys. And before I even met a CJ Spiller, the person that I first like visually seen, and I was like, yo, we both play DN. Alex Carrington.
Oh, man.
Alex Carrington.
Alex Carrington. Yeah.
Yes,
I
do.
You know, I was sitting here like, I play DN. That's a DN? Like, now I ain't gonna be playing DN no more. That's when it started to hit me that I was gonna be transitioning. It's no longer be a DN.
Right.
I'm like,
they
yo,
had
bro,
different plans.
that looks way different than what I am. Yep. And then that was when, I learned about inside linebacker. But, meeting the guys, man, between Alex Carrington, like I said, that was the first like wow moment because it was just like the size of him. CJ Spiller, I already knew of him. So to see him come around, it was like cool. But CJ was so soft spoken. CJ so like introverted. It's like, all right, man. But for me, our perspective was always like, dang, that's the money. Because that's the 9th overall pick.
Yeah.
I would like top 10 picks are different. It's like, yo, they walk. It's like, yo, that man, he pulled up 3-piece business suit on a Tuesday. You be like, hey, bro, this is different. Like, I remember he had a briefcase in one part. I'm like, yo, this is like, okay, when you're and that was for me when I realized, okay, if you're a first rounder, if you're a money guy, if you're a guy that the team is really invested in, like, you got to take it up another level a little bit, or at least like that was kind of how I was perceiving it because of how CJ was with that thing, man. But man, just going through the whole class, I remember, man, Terrell Troop, shout out to T Troop, man. It was cool. Like seeing him, that was like one of the strongest guys I'd ever been around. I'm like, yo, you bench 600, you squat 700. Like, God, what is this, man? And then Marcus Easley. Me and Easley, shout out to my dog. Man.
He was there a minute. Yeah. They tried with him, but I liked him, man. He just needed a little bit of work, but he wasn't a bad player, man.
Not at all, man. But me and him, we went back to, the Texas versus the Nation All-Star game. They don't even have that anymore in El Paso, Texas, right across from Juarez. We're like, bro. But I remember we're on a flight together going out there to the game. We ended up being on the flight back. I ran into him at the combine. I'm like seeing him all the time. So for us to get drafted the same spot, that was like super cool as well because the familiarity. Levi Brown, quarterback, man, we actually had the same agent at the time. So, him coming out of Troy was cool because it was like, I already had kicked it with him plenty of times just in the pre-draft process because like I said, we had the same agent, Joe Linta. And then RIP to the last guy, man, Kyle Calloway, man, ended up passing away, man. But he was out of Iowa, big offensive tackle, man. And like I said, he was cool too, quiet, but that was like my first introduction to, these are what NFL body types look like because Kyle Calloway at that time was the biggest tackle I'd ever seen. Like prior to that, I played against Vlad Ducasi and he played at UMass, was drafted by the Jets in the 2nd round, but he transitioned to a guard. Like that was NFL guard. You know what I mean? I'm like, Kyle was going to be a tackle. Like, was a big dude, and I can't forget my man Ed Wang. Excuse me on that one. The first Chinese player to ever.
I remember, dude. I forgot about that
Ed
guy.
Wang, man. Yes, indeed. Yes, man. That was my dude right there, man. Shout out to Ed. Came out of Virginia Tech, man. Super cool. You talk about life of the party. That's the dude you would like. Always was fun hanging around Ed, man. Absolutely. But you think that was my class, so it was like cool as heck. We were kind of all over the place. We had crazy talent. When you talk about CJ, it was like, yo, that dude could fly. Could absolutely fly, man.
He was fast, bro.
And I just remember, man, them first school practices, CJ, Fred, and Marshawn. Like, bro, this is
damn. I forgot they were all together at one. Yeah,
crazy.
That's a three-headed monster right there.
Yes,
boy. Dude. Talk about like the rookie hazing. How was it back then? Just curious. Like, did you have to go through some stuff, pay some stuff, do some stuff?
Look. So they for sure sent me on my plenty of trips. All right. Shout out to my vets, Andre Davis, Reggie Torbor. Shout out to Paul Puzlesny. Right. Shout out. Let's see. Yeah. Shout out to Paz, man. Love Paz, man. But those were my vets. Kavika Mitchell, man. Shout out to Vic, man. Absolute. Yeah. Then we ended up bringing in Nick Barnett my second year in this thing. So. Yeah, and Nick was on the whole, hey, bro, you ain't 3 years in your second season, you still my rookie. Yeah, man. For sure. All right. Between the breakfast, between the PF chains on the way to the flight, let's see, you got to make sure you get your Louis. Got to get the Louis. All right, make sure you bring that Louis in there for the breakfast. I'm like, all right, I got it. I wanted to, so we ain't tripping. But that was a mandatory. Like I said, man, PF chains for every flight, mandatory. And then it'd be like, all right, just random stuff. Hey, man, I need this. Hey, Grant, all right, hey, we going here. You'd be like, dude, all right. And then, of course, the rookie dinner, I'll never forget. Shout out to Toronto. All right. And shout out to George Wilson, because George gave me the words of advice. He said, look, bro, that money going to get spent whether you like it or not. So you might as well enjoy yourself tonight, fella.
Dude, absolutely.
Cold. That's cold.
Hey, real quick.
Get spent regardless.
on George Wilson.
Yes.
Funny story, real quick on that though. So I'm from Michigan and Florida, and I visited Michigan to go to my cousin's wedding. I go to a bachelor party. Okay. Having a good time. And my cousins know I was diehard Bills fan, right? Diehard. So he comes over to me. He's like, bro, you want to meet a guy that just got signed by the Buffalo Bills? I'm like, what? Are you fucking? I thought he was messing with me. I'm like, what? No way. He's like, yeah, bro, he used to play for the Lions, George Wilson. I'm like, so George comes over to me. And bro, what's funny is he probably thought I was a super weirdo because I went into this tanning bed. And I didn't, first time I ever went tanning, I had no idea how long is long enough. And bro, I was like a tomato, right? So I'm like, hey, George, I could barely talk. My face was like bright, like red. And, but dude, he was so cool. And he was a receiver. And he was like, man, I don't know, man. I'm going to go down there. I'm going to see what I could do. And then, dude, I saw him on TV as a safety. I'm like, bro, damn cool. I know this guy. I talked to this guy for like an hour. I ain't going to say what went on the bachelor party, but he had a good time.
No, George, that dude, man. I always say,
he's a good dude.
So George Wilson and Brian Scott were my like super like mentor vets, not just on the field, but like off the field. A lot of the charity stuff I got into, they were the ones who introduced you to it. So like big meeting room to start the day off. I got George on my left and B Scott on my right. And that was like my introduction to preparing for film, my introduction to getting the community, my introduction to just being a professional. Heck, they would get on me because I was still on my college vibes of wearing the team sweatsuit every single day, because in college, that's what you do. And they like, look, bro, you a professional now. You in the league, bro. We don't do that here. Put some clothes on, man. Put some. I'm like, oh, and like they would like get on me and I'm like, dang, like they would make me elevate. And that was like one of the things that I always respected about them, because it's like, yo, man, you ain't got to do this to me. I'm a 6th round, you know what I mean, dude from JMU, man, trying to compete with you guys to ultimately maybe one day, you know, have this spot for myself. But for them to like pour into me the way that they did, man, and all those different avenues, man, I always tell them, like, anytime I'm like, yo, appreciate y'all, man. Because like, I don't have the career I have without that foundation. Otherwise, I'm just like everybody else, running around, spending money, trying to, you know, get it in how you can, right? So they really like gave me that understanding of, hey, bro, this is an opportunity, man. Take advantage of it.
That's great. You said, you know what? I was going to ask you what vet you looked up to, like when you got there. And hey, you already answered the question. So love it.
Those are my days, though, man. Heck yeah.
I do got a flashback for you, though. I do got a little flashback. I got a little flashback for you.
All right, let's go.
Let's pop it up right here. Let's see if you remember this flashback.
Hey, raise up.
On the 12th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 12 drummers drumming,
11 pipers piping,
10 lords a leaping,
9 ladies dancing,
8 maids a milking,
7 swans of swimming,
6 geese a laying,
5 golden rings.
Of course.
4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree.
Dude,
So
the guys. The guys, dude. Oh my man, I'm seeing David Nelson in the vid. Oh my god, shout out to Donald Jones also, man. He was a part of that draft class. Those were the undrafted guys, but they were also part of that class as well, man. I see, dude, Reggie Quarter in the building. I see you in the building, man. Shoot. It was at Levitri. We had Wood. Come on, Snoop Park. Come on, man. Them the dudes right there, man. That's young boats right there. You see, I was so happy to be on the video. I got Reebok sweats on.
Did they call you? Did they call you in and say, we got to do this video? I need you to come down.
So the way it works, you'll be like just randomly, especially when the media department needs you for content, they're rarely going to call you in during your free time. So this is right after like a practice. We're finishing up, and it's like, hey, we about to do this. And in fact, B. Scott was the one who wanted to like do it, but George was the one who had the media part. So B. Scott, he was the one who would have us like caroling at people's houses during the Christmas. Like I remember like walking downtown Buffalo, we're caroling around. He was like, yo, these Bills carol. It's like, yep. Because B. Scott, like he was the music guy. So he wanted to sing. He wanted that. George was the TV guy. George was the camera. He gonna have that. So they collabed it together. And because I'm always with the two, it was like, yo, man, you want to be in the video? I'm like, heck yeah, of course, let's do it. Anything that, if we go do it, man, I'm in it. All right, if the camera is there and we in the league, come on, man. Because I'm one of those people that I never really believed that I was going to be here and stay here as long as I did. So I was like, you got to document every moment possible while I'm here, especially in uniform. So if it was, hey, we want you to be on the committee, I'm going to be there. If you want me to talk, you want me to, I'll do that too. Yeah. So I was going to show up for everything. So
that's awesome, dude.
Yeah. So that was how I got in that video. And yeah, it just turned out, it was dope. It was dope. And to this day, like, I still have access to be able to go find that video, and I'm so happy for that because that's a moment. You see how I lit up just when you played up, like, yo, I remember everybody, and like even Beast guys,
bro. Hey, dude, I would be just like you, bro. I would be in every video. I would have a blast doing that stuff, man.
Yeah,
like, I'm sure some players don't like it, but right,
some dudes
and you know
like
what?
They come from the bigger schools. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you'll never see that again. You'll never be a part of that. So that's awesome, dude. Also, just so your rookie year, right? When did the game actually slow down for you? Like, I know they say a lot of times rookies, the game's kind of fast at first. So when did it start to actually slow down and you start to really get a hang of it or get a hang of the NFL
Honestly,
speed?
Man, it was my second training camp. Second training camp was really slowed down. My first year,
okay.
I mean, like I made plays and I played and I even had some starts, especially on the second half of the season. But when I tell you everything was just so fast. And for me, I would always just say, man, the same way when I played as a true freshman at JMU, it's like, you're not going to know everything, but you're so fast and athletic that you could make up for what you don't, And that was kind of my mindset. So I always tell people, man, if they ever like kept a record or a stat for how many blown assignments you might have, my first year, I would have set the record twice. Like I was the mental error king. I did because I went from playing DN, hand in the ground my whole life to all right, come play off ball middle linebacker. And I'm like, I don't know how to do this. And I remember like trying to learn coverages and it was just like my head spinning. Injuries happen now. They put me back at outside linebacker, which is fun because I get to rush. But even with some of the coverages, it's like, oh, go walk out on number 2. I'm like, what is that? Who's number 2? Like, I see a number 12 over there. No, that's like the 2 wide receiver. So that was like a big obstacle for me, man. So I remember a couple of things that would help me out. I would start watching more tape, meeting with more people. Damani Cross was the linebackers coach at that time. And then from there, man, playing Madden. I would be like, yo, I just need to know the basics of coverage because I never had to care about coverage. My whole life up until the league was, man, go get a sack. And there is nobody that can stop you. Yeah. So like, I never had to even think about what a coverage was. I'm like, how can it be cover 4? We ain't got 4 safeties. There's only 2 safeties back there, bro. What you mean cover 4, bro? How's it cover 3? It's only 1 guy back there. Like I said that in a meeting with the Patriots. I would never forget. The dude looked at me like, oh, and it was like, no surprise he didn't draft me. It's like, yep. Dude was like, yo, show me cover 3. Like, bro, cover 1 is 1 safety. Cover 2 is 2 safeties. Ain't no cover 3, bro. It's a trick question. You ain't getting me. So like, it was super fast my first year, man. But that second year, and we had the lockout, so I actually had a little bit more time, right? So from there, it was like, man, let's just start watching tape. And I just remember watching tape, going back and like having the playbook, the old school paper thick binder playbook. And because of the lockout, I didn't have anywhere to go. So I remember being back at James Madison, finished up my undergrad degree, but I'm studying. I'm just going to learn this defense. I'm going to learn everything about this. And from there, that was when I really started to understand. I'm like, oh, that's what this, oh, that's the cover 3. That's Meg. That's what he said the whole time. And it was like that light bulb clicked. Then we get back to training camp after the lockout. And I'm fortunate, man. Shout out to my dog, Kelvin Shepard. He's the DC at Detroit right now, right? Killing it. That's my guy, because during that time when he comes in, we're both having to get our lockout weight off of us. All right. That's the nice way to put it. So we became cardio buddies. And while we would do cardio, because I'm playing linebacker, he's the linebacker, he's the fresh draft pick, I'm the guy that's trying to learn this position, but he has the athleticism. We would just talk. He's like, yo, what does this mean? When they say that, what does that mean? He'd be like, oh, what is this? Oh, bro, what is that? And he'll be so chill about it. I'm like, Shep, why do you know it like this, bro? And even in the meeting rooms, like he would be talking about it and you would hear him, and it's like Nick Barnett would be there. He's like, yeah, is this in? Nick, like, oh, you actually all right. I'm like, dang, Shep, like, you really know? He's like, oh, bro, come on, man. You gotta chill, bro. We do this at LSU. I'm like, all right. And that's all I kept him like, all right. So now fast forward to see what he's doing now at Detroit. I'm like, oh, it makes perfect sense, because even then, he was the one showing me. So from there, that was when it really slowed down, though, that second year. Okay. And after that, man, I was really able to like fully understand it and see it as a puzzle. And it's like, man, it doesn't matter cover, what the coverage is. It doesn't matter 4-3 versus 3-4. It's all a puzzle. We all are just guarding the same different areas, and we're using different people to get there, but it's still the same basic principles. And once he broke it down like that, and I really got a chance to, oh, that's what that is. Oh, and they just invert that, and that's that. Oh, okay. And then from there, it was like, all right, treat it like anything else. If you want to be great at it, man, you put the time in. So you study it, you make sure that you watch tape on it, you walk through it, you spend time with it, you love on it. And that was what I did. And that was really when it started to slow down for me. Like I said, year 2.
Okay. And then so you went from, I know that you went from edge to inside linebacker. Yeah. So Gailey had you go to inside, but then they switched to
Gailey. Yes.
Hey, Chance, listen, I know he didn't have the greatest coaching record here, but he's a good coach. He's a good coach.
My guy, man.
He's an offensive man. He knows his offense, man. I'll give him that, dude. He's it's unfortunate it didn't work out here, but he's a good coach. He really is. But he switched you back to outside linebacker. Was that just because you were just more comfortable at that position, really?
Yeah. So at the time, it was a mix of me being comfortable there, and we had a lot of injuries. So I know my first year, by the time I get moved to outside, I think Chris Ellis was our week 1 starter. Chris Ellis, Chris Kelsey. Shout out to my dog, Chris Kelsey. That was another one of my vets.
Chris Kelsey.
Yep. Aaron Maben, he was like the situational pass rusher. It was his second year, but they were still kind of like not all the way trusting him. So when Chris gets hurt, it's like, yo, we put Reggie Torber out there for a couple of games. He plays well, then he gets hurt. And it's like, yo, we need somebody that knows what they're doing, that at least knows how to rush the pass, at least knows how to line up. And that was something that I was ultra comfortable with. So I started getting those opportunities, and that's when you start making some plays. I remember, obviously, Minnesota, right? Shout out to the Vikings, man. Get a chance to make a play in that thing, right? We fast forward, we go to, I want to say it was the Browns following that, make another play that week. And it was like the Dolphins, like, oh, you making another play. So for me, I was buying my time there because it's like, yo, I know how to do this. I may not be 6'4", 260, but I know how to rush the pass. So I know how to line up in a 6 technique, 5 technique, 9. I got hand placement. I'm fundamentally sound because of, what I was taught in college. So that was the part that I think for Chan Gailey, he, could see that. And also, I would say, man, George Edwards, man, that was my the defensive coordinator at that time as well, man. He knew that about my background, and that was another part of. I remember him asking me like, "Yo, Moats, do you feel comfortable doing this? Because I know you still figuring out inside linebacker." And I'm like, "I love you if you let me rush the passer."
Right.
I promise I will never complain if you let me go ahead and do this, man. You know, and that was kind of the thought process with it, but it was still like, you got to go out here and prove it, you know, because they were bringing in guys every week. They were working out guys all the time. And that was my first time experiencing that also, where you see, oh, who are these guys in here on Tuesday? What are they here for? Oh, they're working out. For who? For your position. If they see something they like a little bit more, they're going to bring that guy in and take your job. You like, what? So that really like upped it up for me to make me feel like, all right, I got to prepare each and every day. I got to go out here. I can't just wait till Sunday to make a play. I got to cook and practice. Like I can't even wait that long. So that really helped, you know, light that fire under me. And Marshawn Lynch was another guy. I can never talk practice without talking Marshawn, because he was literally the first NFL guy to teach me how to practice the right way. And I'm talking about a certain level of intensity where I remember, man, I'm pulling up, trying to tackle it, not even tackle him, I'm going to two-hand touch him in a practice. And I'm like, because Marshawn Lynch, you don't touch Marshawn. It's Marshawn. And I remember, man, he stopped me. He's like, bro, listen. He's like, look, bro, every time I run through this, I want you to try to hit me the same way you play in a game. He's like, because if you don't, you're not going to get better, and you're not going to help me out. I'm not going to get no better. And I'm like, bro, you Marshawn, bro. All right. And he's like, bro, I don't care what nobody already says. This is how you supposed to practice, bro. So literally, the next play,
I
love
it. I love it.
I go hit him. And granted, it's beast mode. You pop. I'm like, God dang, but it was a collision. It was a good one. And I remember like thinking to myself, like, all right, I'm about to get in trouble. And then the coach said was like, all right. And the beast mode stopped. He's like, yo, that's how it is from here on out. And I remember from that day forward, every time we practice, like, yo, that's the energy. That's how it has to be. And that helped me get better, because I wasn't a good enough player to just come up here and just, you know, oh man, let me chill and practice. No, you ain't that good. Not at that level. You got to grind every single day. So that really set that foundation. And that was why I'm like so grateful for those dudes, because I'm like, man, some of these guys go to teams where they're young and they don't have veterans like that. They don't have guys that can teach you and tell you the right thing. And it was like, man, for me, shoot, these dudes like really showed me the blueprint in year one going into year two. And from there, it was like, that I just need to know the answers. Once you show me that, I could do the rest. And man, awesome, so dude. Like I owe a lot to them dudes, man. So that's why even, you know, what you have in the Marshawn jersey, I'm like, bro, that's hard, man. Like, dang, go on, man.
Yeah, that dude, man. I'm glad that you have people like that around, because like you said, man, it's not that, probably not every NFL locker room's like that for some of the rookies coming in. Man. And real quick on before we move on to, because I'm gonna have the chat ask some questions for you, and then Aramis might have some as well too. Yeah. I know he had a few. Pre-game music. What you listening to? What's hyping you up, man?
So for me, man, I would go through different phases. I remember at one point I was on the Final Countdown. Oh, wow. Yeah. Then I went through a phase where I was on my Highlander, right? Here we are, the Prince of the Universe. You know what I mean? It was like, yo, I was Duncan McLeod. I'm like, yo, I'm cutting everybody's head off out here. Ain't nobody nicer than me. Like, so I would go through that. Then I went through like my super, like, all right, we go only bump Christian music before the game. And I was a heavy Kirk Franklin, Fred Hammond. I'm talking like old school.
Franklin, wow, okay.
Yeah. So like that was, you know, that was mine. And that was kind of where I remember like ending it on that, you know, but yeah, man, I never had like one set. All right, this is what I listened to from the time I first started playing all the way until I, you know, stopped. But it was just, you know, whatever I was feeling that year going into the season. And from there, we just like, yeah, we just gonna ride with that. But I remember like doing those time frames, because now obviously I've, you know, been retired for, you know, plenty of years and stuff. But I remember, man, I could tell you verbatim the 3 songs I would play in order, because it's like whenever it was go time and I'm ready to lock in, I only want to hear this. I don't want nothing else in here. I don't want to entertain anything else. When I'm locked in, I'm locked in. When that door closes and is locked, ain't no turning back, man. Let's go. So like I would have like, you know, just random songs on a playlist, but when it was time, man, it was one of those, bam, and then it just go repeat it. You better hope that you timed it up right, because yeah, you might think you're going out there in 5 minutes, and that 5 minutes turned into 30 minutes. You listen to the same song 30 minutes, and I'll be over here like, I don't care. I'm about to eat somebody's face off. Like that's all you thinking about. Like, yeah.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. Yep. Scott coming in says, you don't have a question, but he wants to thank you for your years here in Buffalo, man. He really enjoyed your effort. and your personality, man. So that's a good one from a man. And then
that,
also,
man, absolutely.
yeah. And then my boy Captain D, I don't know if you're still around, but he's going to answer the question. He's actually a Dolphins fan, so of course he wants to know. He says, respectfully, how was it playing against the Dolphins, and what was it like stepping on the field as a player?
Man, I always remember playing against the Dolphins. One of my favorite games my rookie year was the second time we played the Dolphins. First time we opened up with them, you got to think that's Ronnie Brown, that's Ricky Williams, right? And I remember being like, I'm a kid in the candy store. Wow, first year, and it was like when they first broke the Wildcat out. So I remember thinking to myself, like, yo, this is so cool. But I didn't play that game, right? I was the rookie. I was like special teams only. End of the season, I'm on defense now. I'm getting a chance to rush and I'm making some plays. And I just remember thinking to myself, like, this is so cool because I'm rushing against Jake Long and Richie Incognito. You feel me?
Jake
Like
Long, I forgot about him.
You feel me? Like,
he was good.
Dude.
He was
pre-injury,
a beast.
and it's pre-injury Jake Long. Pre-injury Jake Long, he was like a Joe Thomas. Like, he was on that trajectory, man. So I just remember thinking to myself, like, yo, you got to rush against these dudes, man. If you can make a play in this game, all right, you solidified, because I had already made a play the week before versus Joe Thomas. And going in that game, man, I made some plays, and I still got one of my favorite pitches. I'm like rapping Chad Hiddy up. He got the ball up on his head, and I'm like, dang, bro, you really did get a sack of that Miami game, didn't you? And I'm just maybe like being so hyped. I'm seeing Dante Whitner, a.k.a. Hittner, celebrate with me, and it was like, man, I never forget that about, that Dolphins game and being in that stadium. The other thing I would say I remember was because we always played at 1 o'clock during that time. Way different than the Bills now. Right. Bills now, we were like, bro, it's 8 o'clock again. 8 o'clock again. Back when I was playing, we were the 1 o'clock Bills. All right. When they changed the Thursday night to make it mandatory, you get one primetime game, it was a big deal because we were going to play in primetime. All right. That was our one primetime game, and it was always the same teams. Cleveland or Miami.
Right. Here we go, Buffalo. Here's your one. Go ahead and take it on Thursday night.
Oh, there you go.
Enjoy it. Right. Enjoy it.
So I just remember, man, being in the stadium Sunday, 1 o'clock, and we're hearing this noise and it's like lights, and we're like, bro, what is happening in the stands? And they're like, yo, it's the club. They had the club in the stadium. And the music, and it was so loud, you can hear the music because the crowd won't loud, but you can hear the music. You're like, bro, what? This is nuts, man. Yeah. So that's what I remember about Miami, man, being in that stadium. And it was hot. I remember that too, the sun beaming because they put you in the sun the whole time. But granted, it was late in the year, so it wasn't like crazy hot, but it was hot for Buffalo. Right. You ever been to Buffalo, January? You go down there and it's way different.
It's the humidity is really what South Florida kills you, man. But dude, Miami. I forgot all that they had about the club.
Miami, man.
That's funny, dude.
It was you see the lights is flashy. Like, what is this?
Right? What is disco ball rolling around? What you got, man? You got anything, Arthur, man?
I got a lot. But let's start here first. So. Right. Linebacker, right? Linebacker was a transition for you, and you've played with some greats, right? But my question for you is, what does the mentality have to be in those moments where it's a run play and you gotta take on that block? Because and kind of talk about the difference between then and now, where you got these lighter linebackers and trying to turn around blocks and trying to run away from, you know what I mean? Like, what's the difference?
So big difference, man. First off, when we talk about just the style of offenses, right, man, I remember coming into the league, you had fullbacks, right? Was it Lorenzo Neal? He was out in San Diego. You had was it Big Vontae Leach? That was the other big boy over in Baltimore. So it was like you got fullbacks. Remember running backs, was it Peyton Hillis? He was like the big back at one point.
Madden cover.
Madden cover. Heck yeah, right? So that's what we're accustomed to. Even Marshawn Lynch, that's not a little running back. That's a big dude, right? Yeah. So defensively, you're like, man, I'm 245, 250 back there. You know what I mean? Like, this is I'm trying to knock you out game. And man, if it's a downhill run, this OG 3-4, I'm talking guards uncovered. That's every time, and that's why they wanted you 245, 250, so you could two-hand, hat in hands, shock lock, two-gap that thing, which was nuts. But I get why they wanted me also, because if I'm playing, DN at 250, or not even 250, 240-ish, I'm doing a lot of hat and hands. We're doing a lot of shot lock two gapping. So they figure, okay, you can put him back here, 3-4 scheme versus a guard, same concept, right? At the time, I ain't understand that. At the time, I'm like, yo, y'all are crazy, right? But now I'm like, oh, that makes a little more sense. So when you're taking on them dudes, though, man, it's like, bro, you got to be downhill. And that's all I kept remembering, be downhill. Because they would tell me, when you're not downhill, those double teams stay on, right? Or those guys get up on you, and now it's 5-6 yards a pop. So man, you just know I'm trying to knock whoever it is in front of me out. I don't care how big you are. I don't care where you from. You know what I'm doing. I'm coming downhill. It's hat in hands, and we're going to figure it out afterwards. And that was my approach. But guys like Andre Davis, man, guys like Reggie Torbor, Kavika Mitchell, these were some like these 250, 260-pound linebackers, these big boys. So you watching them punch, it's like, God dang, like I'm watching them take grown guards in the guard's head doing. I'm like, bro, what? So that was like unique to me. You gotta think. Paul Postlesny, who's a big linebacker in today's NFL, was considered like the smaller, lighter backer back then. Yeah. So even watching his game was a little bit different with how he could run around things, but he was still so fundamentally sound. Now, I mean, some of these backs like 215 pounds. You see Bernard's light.
He's light.
But the flip side is just like how many teams truly try to run the ball. So that's why with Buffalo currently, it's like you're playing the numbers game. Man, I'm not going to give you a ton of base personnel defensively because you're not really trying to run the ball. You want me to get big bodies out here so you can throw it. Now, the flip side is they keep running it when we got the smaller guys. Yeah. Years past, even with Taron Johnson and company, we would do a good job of at least minimizing the damage enough. So that way it's like, yo, you don't have an advantage here right now. This year, teams have been able to take advantage of that. And it started was an Atlanta game. And then from there, it's been like popping up a little bit too much, and that's putting a little bit too much strain on it and getting us out of the third and longs that we want, because we built the rush the passer. You see how this defense is built. It's built for speed, it's built for space, it's built for that. But you can't get to that until you stop that run first. So that's the challenge though with some of the smaller backers. So that's why you see teams do more of the blitzing, right? Or you try to do the games up front that kind of cut it up. So now it's just athlete on athlete, because you want a smaller backer to be able to run around with some of these smaller running backs. You see how these small scat back dudes are now. You're like, bro, I need something that can go get that, because the days of 250-pound linebackers being, 3-down players, it's just a little bit past that, because you can see when, these athletic tight ends or these space players, how they can stress the middle of your defense out. So it's that weird dynamic of the game is evolving. So defensively, you have to evolve with it. Yeah. But the same principles of stopping the run matter. And now instead of those being, true OG linebackers, these are what we used to be, big safeties. And now you're bringing that safety mindset, which is coverage first, into that box, which now has to shift to run first, pass second.
Yeah. So with what seems like the new wave of too high all over the place, everybody's trying to get too high and now minimize the pass. The way to get teams out of that obviously is to run the ball. What do you think about this new wave of teams, focusing on the run, and how does it compare to your era where, I mean, teams had like big boys and they tried to run with some power, and you kind of see that coming back. Did you see a little bit of the cyclical, moving the speed backs and then power backs back in your time?
Yeah, absolutely, man. When you talk about just football in general, right? Running the ball is something that is tried and true. Everyone knows that that's the one thing that you have to be able to do. So granted, there was a time where it did seem like, passing the ball is so beautiful, it's so fun, it's so exciting. But we would still go back and say the same teams that are winning the championships are the ones that can still run the football and play defense. So with that, you would see that shift. And even in Buffalo, remember, it was once upon a time where we were heavy Josh throw it 30, 40 times a game. Then all of a sudden it shifted to James Cook, it shifted to Ty Johnson, shifted to heavy on the running backs. And now you can see where we're trying to do more of that and now pick our spots where Josh puts the cape on. Whereas, 5 years ago it was, quarterback, man, do it all.
Yeah.
Right. And that's just not here. You can see it around the league. Teams are starting to reinvest in there. Philadelphia a year ago, right? Go get you Saquon, man. You see how that impacts you. So teams understand that. It's just, I don't know if everybody's willing to all the way buy into the trend. Because during that time frame, everybody bought into it. Everybody was out here playing with running backs, fullbacks, tight ends. It was nothing to see 21 personnel, right? 2 running backs and a tight end. Nothing to see that. Now when a team pulls out two, you're like, bro, why they got a fullback? What does he do? He must be great on special teams. He's a special team. That's what he got to be, bro. There's no way he plays. Yeah, like you know what I mean. So it's like that's the part where, because think about Pittsburgh, for example, right? They operate with 4 tight ends. It seems archaic to fans here because it's like, yo, we want to see the passing, we want to see the throwing. But then you look and it's like other teams are trying to operate with similar mindsets. But this is what you do typically if you don't have the quarterback. Now, Buffalo is different because it's like, yo, you got the best of both worlds. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, you got a dude in James Cook that is fire. Can run inside, can run outside, can catch. But then you got this just straight unicorn MVP, right? And Josh. So at times it's almost like for Joe, I'm like, hey, man, don't overthink it, baby. Don't overthink this thing, man. But at times when you got them type of pieces, like, yo, you can kind of get in your own way. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So this question's got a little bit of spice on it. So just bear with me.
All right. Let's go.
Oh boy.
Oh, what's some spice? Yeah.
You saw the Bills Texans game, right?
Yes, I did. Yes. Pissed me off, but yep, let's go.
Yeah, I hear that. So in the second half, there were a couple of plays that I talked about where you saw the Texans line up in jumbo, right? They had all their big boys on the field.
Yeah, I know. And we stayed in that light personnel on defense. Yep.
Well, not even that. We were light personnel, but you see 9 or 10 guys around the line of scrimmage, and they still run the ball. They still ran the ball. So as a player, what are you thinking when you see, like, as a defensive player, if they're still running the ball at you with 10 guys around the line of scrimmage, what does that say?
Man, it tells you 2 things. Number one, they don't think that y'all are tough. They feel like you guys are soft, right? We can just run on you. But then the other thing is, from a schematic standpoint, and that's what I was saying about the personnel, they looking at that too. And they're saying, you might have 8 guys in this box, but if that's a nickel and that's a safety, he gonna have to prove he willing to tackle. He got to prove he willing to take on this tackle that's coming. He got to prove he's willing to lead, to hammer this lead guard pulling up on you. Dude, that's the difficulty. And that was, I remember when we first started transitioning to having an athletic linebacker, and that was Brian Scott. And that was the knock on him. Is like, yo, I can do all this cover stuff, but man, when you pull this guard around, I'm not built to go take on this guard. So you try to figure out how to backdoor things, but that only works as like a one-off. You know what I mean? That's the change-up. That can't be your go-to. But the problem is, for us specifically in Buffalo, it's like, yo, we got those style of athletic linebackers, which, like you said, we like it when it's past situations, but that's the flip side. And even with our D-line, it's like we're built for rushing the passer. We're built for that part of it. It's like we do have some dudes that, big bodies, but it's like, yo, we want to play with the lead. We want to get after you. We want you to be in 3rd and long. So that's, what to me what was being said. And I thought that D'Amico Ryans in the Texans, that was kind of their approach. They felt like they could beat us in the trenches. Defensively, they thought they had a match that they liked, and we got hanged up. And it was the short week. We were on the road. I'm like, yo, O-line was leaking oil, but I'm like, yo, they whooped us in the trenches on both sides of the ball. You watch Josh, it's like, man, Josh is running for his life, getting hit. And then defense is like, yo, man, we ain't doing what we want to do right here. They, like you said, they run it. And then you look at me like, damn, it's another week where a team that ran it like this on us. Like, how?
So this is more of a question about kind of some interpersonal stuff, right? So talk to me about or talk to us about about a game where there was some some ups and downs, and who really was that guy that was most likely to step up and like, all right, come on, let's go. Like, what are we doing?
Okay.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, who
That's
was
a good
that?
question.
Who was that guy?
I like it,
man. All right. So let's see. Oh, that's a tough one because, like, I always remember Chris Kelsey. Like I said early on, he was one of those dudes, man. He gonna get in your face, let you know, like, yo, man, this ain't good enough. Kyle Williams, for sure, Cal. For sure, Cal. And forgive me for that. I should have said Cal first. I have a little bit of PTSD with Cal because he was like my vet too, but he wasn't like the nice vet to me. He was like the tough love vet. So it was like, I know he loved me. He was nice, but it was like, yo, he was hard on me. He made me work. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was different. And I think because we was both like undersized, and he thought his undersized was cooler than my undersized. You know what I mean? Shout out to Cal, man. Yeah, but definitely Cal. For sure, Cal. I forgot about Cal. Oh, Lord. Cal, please
Don't beat me up, Cal. All right, wherever you at right now, don't you dare.
Oh, my
I'm
God.
friendly. All right, geez, shout out to Cal Williams, man. Absolutely. Cal for sure is gonna tell. He ain't gonna let that slide. Yeah. He would for sure let you out. If we won't do what we're supposed to do, Cal is gonna let you know. He gonna talk about it for sure. And then after that, man, Nick Barnett, he was another one, man.
Barnett.
Yep. And with Nick, because he came over as like one of the higher end free agents. Because we remember, I'm here when we brought in Mario Williams, first $100 million defensive contract, right?
Yeah.
But Mario, it never, from my perspective, came off as like the vocal, I'm the leader type. It was just, you the money, you nice as heck, but you're kind of like out of this world because you got $100 million, bro. I'm on a rookie salary as a 6th rounder, bro. You feel me? Like it ain't a lot. It ain't a lot that we got that's in common. You know what I mean?
Hey, did he pop those contacts in?
Yes,
in the locker room?
Yes, bro. What are you doing? Yes. Yo, I don't know why that was his name. Like he loves cars. He has a crazy car collection, and he would. That was different. That was different.
Yeah,
but when you're Mario Williams, it is like, have you seen Mario Williams in person? Who's gonna tell him? You feel me? Like. Look, Mario took my parking spot, and I ran up to Mario one time. I was like, you know what, Mario? I don't even like this parking spot. No, I'm gonna park over here. I ain't even tripping on them. All right? Like, it's just certain people's like, bro, do you want to do that one? Like, how angry are you about that parking spot? You really care about this spot? I don't care about that one, bro. You can have this spot, bro. I don't even like that spot. Now that I think about, I'm gonna get these steps over here anyways. I hope it rain on your car. How about that?
He probably didn't care either, you know. At this point,
it's not a problem. You park wherever you want, man.
So for me, man, like I said, man, Sean Merriman, though, he was another guy, man. He was vocal as well. It was just with Sean, man, we would have to be careful because, like, sometimes he get too hyped. We'd be like, you got caught in that thing, bring it in a little bit, man. But those were the dudes, though, man. But Cal for sure. Cal, absolutely. He's gonna let you know. Yes.
Okay. Got some questions from the chat, and then Aramis, if you have any more, we'll get to you on that too. So he wants to know, do you believe from your NFL experience, do we have the talent? He's talking about this team, obviously, or is it the scheme? I would love to hear your opinion. So talent, scheme, or is it a combination? How about that?
Yeah, so to me, man, I think talent-wise, I love it. I think that we should have upgraded, though, with all due respect, at wide receiver. I would like to have added something. I was hoping we was going to add something. And it's like, all right, we brought back Gabe, and I'm a big fan of Gabe. Shout out to Gabe. We know this. Yep. But at the same time, it was like, man, we know the first go-around, there was some inconsistencies there. And when we're seeing, even with Amari Cooper a year ago, and that really didn't materialize the way that we wanted it to, Keon kind of, going through it a little bit the second year round. I personally would have liked to see us added something there because I think it would have taken a little bit of pressure off of Josh and this running game specifically. Defensively, it's like, man, the defense is built to play with the lead. The defense is built to rush the passer. Like, that's why you got the Greg Russos of the world, the Bosa's of the world, right? When we talk about these smaller linebackers, they're built for coverage. You get the first rounder back in terms of Maxwell Harrison, and we feel good about him, but it's like, these are dudes that are built to be playing out front. So because of that, I feel like you make it a little bit more of a challenge, and that puts a lot more pressure on these coaches. I think the coaches do a well enough job, but at the same time, it's like, man, you only are as good as your personnel. So if teams are identifying that we have a weakness stopping the run, which isn't a secret, right? No longer a secret. Now it becomes on the coaching staff to figure out, with my personnel, how do I offset that? Do we go more playing Shaq Thompson, right? We played him a little bit last week and he made a play or two, but if you keep him out there too long, you can see where now we're going to go hit you with some of the passing stuff, right? So that's you're screwed if you do this, you're screwed if you do that. So you see the blitzing approach, and it's like when the blitzing is working, it's great. Get you behind the sticks, man, get a turnover, boom. But the consistency of trying to rely on that is where the issue comes. Now, the offset is, Josh, when you got that at quarterback, you always feel like, and even in that Texas game, right? As bad as it was, right? This is going wrong, that's bad. He's injured, he's not playing well, and here we are. Another chance. Why? Because you got 17. And that's the thing. It's like, man, it's never going to be perfect, right? All teams have some type of flaw, and coaching is always a part of it. I always put a little bit more onus on players because you actually get to control the variables. Coaches can tell you something, but the coach ain't on that field.
You do not have to do what that coach tells you to do. And even if you do what he tells you to do, it's up to you to do it exactly how he tells you, so that way you can get it right. Right. So as much as I look at coaches and I'm like, yeah, man, as a whole, when the season is finished, if it wasn't up to snuff, yeah, now I look at them like, yo, bro, maybe you start making some changes, right? But when it's in season and these guys are the ones that control the variables, I put a lot of that on players, because as a dude who was actually fortunate enough to be out there, I know how we can impact it. I know how, man, a coach tells you this and it's like, bro, I hear you, but watch when I do this. Watch when I make this play. Now let me hear what you're going to say. And when I come to that sideline, you like, hey, good job, man. You did going right. So that's the part where I'm like, we are the best athletes in the world, right? In terms of talking Josh Allen, right? When you're talking James Cook, when you're talking about these dudes, like, yo, these are some of the best players walking this earth. Man, come on, baby. But the consistency has to be there. And honestly, up until a couple weeks ago, I felt like we were getting that. And then it was just like, whoa, all right. It's kind of weird. Low key, it started Patriots game. If we want to start talking about like where we started having them like little kinks show up, like, all right, what's this? We tripping a little bit. And ever since then, it's been a little bit more of that up and down. So
I got one more here. So he says, Arthur, what's the difference between the Bills culture and Steelers culture? I'm asking because I'm from Pittsburgh, but I was raised a Bills fan, and this city is just football nation. That's a good question. So what is the difference?
Absolutely. And I'm so fortunate because I got a chance to see Buffalo pre-Josh superstar time frame, right? So I got to see it at like the gruddy part, right? Where it was just like, oh, if you rocking with Bills, you gutter. Like, nah, we don't walk around talk about, oh yeah, man, our team's winning the championship. Nah, we was the ones who was like, yo, it's Bill Mafia. We cool for going through the tables, right? Shout out to
there you go.
That's what we were known for, right? Catch mustard. So being a part of that fan base, man, and seeing the inception of Bills Mafia and how like when they kind of had a name, right? Because Steelers like Steelers Nation, right? So it's like they had their identity, but it was like, dude, when that came about and being a part of it, man, I just remember how like even Don't Cross the Moats, how like that picked up. It's Bills Mafia. That's them. You feel me? They linked on that. So it's like, man, I always talk about, you know, that type of culture because it's like, man, it reminded me of college. It reminded me of being at James Madison, having fans that when you go to Wegmans, they're like, yo, that's Arthur Moats. Like, oh, that's one of the Buffalo Bills. Like, that was so cool to me. Like, you just locally around this place, like, yo, man, we had tops out. Oh, they actually, no, oh, that's cool. Like, that was so cool. Whereas, you know, I could tell you about being in Arizona where they don't care who you are. They don't care. It's like, bro, I don't care about you. You play for the Cardinals, great. Move. You know what I mean? So I get to Pittsburgh, and it's very similar in terms of the fan base. The only difference was in 2010 through 2013, the 4 years I was in Buffalo, we never won, right? Our best season was my last year with Doug Marrone. I think we won 6 games, and it was like a big deal, right? It's like, whoa, all right, maybe we're turning the corner. Now, granted, we were turning the corner because you see, you know, then what, 2 years of that, Doug takes him to the playoffs, right? Tyrod and company, right? So that was the little, like the difference for me. It was like, man, it was heavy love, but it was just in Buffalo because we weren't winning, right? I come to Pittsburgh and it's like, you got that type of love, but they're everywhere because they won so much, and they won so much in the 70s. So now when people have relocated and they retired, it's like they're everywhere. So you go on the floor, it's like, oh man, Steelers Nation over here. Oh, Steelers Nation over here. It's like the just sheer mass. You just felt like, oh my God, this is nuts. But it always reminded me, and I would tell them even when I came here, it was like, yo, y'all remind me so much of Bills Mafia. The difference is y'all are happy because y'all win a lot. Like ours was just like thugging it. Like you got to be out there. I remember watching my man, the chef, with no shirt on. I'm like, bro, you are tough. I'm like, yo, it is freezing. We got like 26 inches of snow out here, bro. Like, and we ain't even winning like that, bro. Yeah. Like I remember that, you know. Whereas in Pittsburgh, it's like, man, they're rabid like that, but it's because they win. But then the flip side is, and this is different in Buffalo, right? When the Steelers started to struggle, and that's kind of what they're experiencing right now. That same fan base, and this is where you start calling them out. They'd be like, hey, they started to have them, you know, not as diehard at times because of that. Whereas with Buffalo, I'm like, bro, I've never seen a fake Bills fan because it's like, yo, all the Bills fans I knew was rocking with us when we was trash. I started my first year in the league. We were 0-8 to start the season off, man. 0-8. Yeah. We lost 3 in overtime. We lost a lot of ones. It was close, but it was 0-8. And we were still packed out there. It was still people every. I'm like, bro, y'all still showing up for this? And I remember being disgusted because I'm like, oh my God, I've never lost. Like this is terrible. Oh, I felt like I was back in high school. I'm like, oh my God, I hate losing. I absolutely hate this. I'm like, y'all are showing up for this. Like, oh, I'm so embarrassed right now. And I'm like, yo, that is a different level of commitment.
Yeah.
And then you talk about how, man, I remember playing against the Patriots the day after Christmas and the field is frozen. They're like, yo, you can't wear cleats. You got to wear turf sneakers because you don't have no traction. I'm like, bro, what is this? And it's fans. It's people out there like, yo, let's go Buffalo. I'm like, okay.
No shirts on.
This is real. And that to me, I'm like, yo, that's just a different level of fandom. And that's why it's like, yo, I was very fortunate to have both of those experiences. But I love the fact for Buffalo now that they get to experience this success with that same level of passion. We were up there for a game this year, man. Got to go check out the Ralph one more time before it's all said and done. And it was just like, dang, going, man. Like, I just love that fan base, man. Because, like I said, they're so passionate and they deserve a championship, man. That's why I'm like, yo, come on, Josh, baby. We've been knocking. Oh my God, we've been knocking, man.
Telling me, man.
But man, everyone's so bad, man.
Another question, diehard fan here. You want your honest opinion. Are they putting too much on Allen?
To me, yes. And I thought they decided to do that going forward when they didn't make a big move from a receiver standpoint at the trade deadline. To me, I thought that was kind of them saying, all right, Josh, we believe that you can do this. It's sustainable. Now, I don't know what that does to you long term, but you saw ever since then, it's like, yo, you seeing Josh run a little bit more also, right? We usually don't get that until later. We're like, hey, man, don't break that out too soon. But it's like, nah, we need it now. So that's the part where I get it. But this is the part where also I think of Cam Newton in Carolina and how that kind of wore on him a little bit more and how it deteriorated him. I'm like, I don't want that for Josh. Right. But the more, you put on him, that's kind of what you open yourself up to. So I love the fact that, James Cook, Ty Johnson, the way that those dudes are playing, man, out that backfield, like the mindset of using the running backs the way they were using, Ray Davis included. I love that. I think that helps. But it's still in today's NFL, you got to be able to throw that football to space these defenses out, spread them out. And that's where you see Josh is like, Josh is Josh, but who is he going to throw it to? I mean, it's not a lot of separation out there. And we don't want him to go back to reckless Josh. We've experienced reckless Josh. Right. We know that, Josh. I call that's John McClane. Put that cigarette in his mouth. He got the beat on. Yippee-ki-yay, I'll do it. I'm like, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't stop.
Right. No more chest passes, please. Right.
Well, like, he'll do it. He will. So that's why when I look at Josh, I'm just like, all right, man, like if y'all don't want that, you got to give him reasons to believe that he can trust, that he can, give it away. And that's where I love what James Cook has brought, because I think that he trusts him the most. And then after that, he's looking at the tight ends. But the tight ends, we banged up between Kincaid and Knox. It's like, man, y'all are ultra athletic, ultra run after catch dudes, man, could do a lot mismatch, but I can't count y'all every week. Right. So that's once again. So now it's like, if I don't have my receiving talent, I'm playing wide receiver 1 through Khalil, who's great, but he's really, an undersized receiver. He's more of a run after slot type of dude. So it's just hard for that to be your true wide receiver 1 in this case. Yeah. So that's why you get Josh holding the ball, doing some of everything, and he's spectacular. But you can just see where if you're wrong, it's a turnover. If you're wrong, it's a big negative. And that's where you can feel it. And that's why even in that Texas game, it felt just real woof. Mm-hmm.
That's what I've been trying to tell, man, Arthur. I've been trying to tell people, man. So is my boy Aramis, man. Shout out to obviously Post Podium. They preach it all the time too. But listen, man. Like I feel like they're trying to force Josh Allen to turn water into wine, and you can't do that. And I don't understand why the Bills organization, and I'm talking about McDermott and Brandon Beane, feel like it's okay to put Allen out there with very minimal help. And then if you're going to do that, at least get the right guy. And listen, Brady right now.
I already know.
Listen,
trust
for me, my thing is this, and Aramis has talked about this on his thing too, and it's all about scheming guys up, right? You can make these guys, and I don't think they're trash receivers. That's another thing. Like a lot of Bills Mafia are like, oh, trash. We got all trash. They're not all trash. These guys, actually, some of the guys actually had decent seasons elsewhere, and with lesser talent quarterback. So why all of a sudden they come here and all of a sudden they can't even produce 25 yards, right? They're getting negative yards. So my thing is, I feel like Brady's flaw for me, the biggest one of them all, and he has a few, The biggest one is he doesn't understand players' strengths and their weaknesses. So he's not setting them up on the field to be successful, to win their routes, right? And that's the whole point. You got to scheme these guys up, and you can make average good. You can make good great. Like that. That's what Andy Reid's all about. That's what Sean McVay is about. The best OCs in the game can make these guys look better than they are because they're putting them in better positions.
Right.
Yeah, I just feel like Brady don't do it, right? Am I missing something there, or how you feel?
No, you're not in that case. And I think part of when I think of Brady, even to a degree, even with Dable, it was like, because remember, they were both here together, right? Who was the receiver that they were working with, though? It wasn't a ton of, I got to scheme everything open. I got Diggs, who is a great guy in terms of creating one-on-one separation, whether you're talking down the grass or in the short to intermediate. So to me, I feel like they've adopted that, and that's kind of been their mindset. And then it was like, okay, we'll move on from him. And we did the whole everybody eats mantra, but we know everybody eats was really, we're going to run this football. Josh put the cape on and make all the right decisions.
Right.
It wasn't a ton of guys hitting passes on schedule in terms of 3-step back foot the ground ball out. It's Josh, pop, hold it. O-line, great job protection, scramble around. Oh, now I'm going to hit you down the grass. Oh, now I'm going to hit this dude over here, which is cool. But in a game like the Texans, it's like, yo, that don't work. You need to have something that's getting open right now. If I'm looking and I'm asking of my guys, okay, who are the guys that are going to win one-on-one routes consistently? Yeah, we say Shakir, we feel good about him, but we don't feel like we have a ton of one-on-one dudes that are just, hey, put him over there, he's going to win. We wanted Keon to be that, and he's struggling with that right now. And even we would hope that, hey, as a bigger guy, the default is you don't have to be a great route run and create separation, but at least be a 50-50 jump ball guy, right? Make those 70-30. He really is, even struggling with that at times. So if you're Joe Brady, now you got to go in this bag and figure, okay, bunch formations. All right, how can I get these dudes schemed open, right? Crossing roads, man. How can I do things that can help them while also not putting too much strain on my offense line if they're banged up going forward, right? Because we know Thursday, that part really started to show. It was like, all right, man, you don't have a lot of time for these long developing routes. It needs to be quicker. It needs to be crossing stuff, right? Because if teams are going to press these dudes, teams are going to play man against them because they don't respect them. That's how you scheme it open. But like you said, that's the next level. And that's what we say, man. The same way you got good players and great players, you got good coaches and great coaches. McVay's, the Reeds, those are greats because they understand they're 2 and 3 steps ahead. Hey, I'm going to show you this because that's going to initially make this linebacker line up like this. But then I'm going to motion to this, which is going to then offset your coverage because I know your rules. And that's going to get the matchup that I'm really hunting, which is this guy on the backside one-on-one right here. You're like, how the heck did you do that? But it's because he's 2 and 3 steps ahead and they're building it up, right? And same thing you see in Chicago right now with Ben Johnson. We just watched Ben Johnson. It's like, bro, he is going to manipulate this formation shift motion. And he like, dang, I did not want that guy on him. But the rules of this makes it that's the guy on him because of that move and then that move and then this. I'm screwed now. That's high level. That's high level. And we're gonna see if Brady can develop into that. But that's the next level of it. Absolutely.
It's been so dating back with him. The only reason I don't think it's going to happen with him, and I wish it would, but he had a problem in Carolina with the same same problems, and I feel like that's in 2020, 2021. We're in 2025, so I kind of feel like either he can't do it or he's unwilling to do it. So it's one of the two. It can't be either one. So, and then I go back to last year. And I got to debate with people all the time with this, but they traded for Amari Cooper, right? And they did it for a reason. I tell Bills Mafia all the time. Now, look, for me, Amari Cooper, stats-wise, it wasn't like impressive, like, oh my God. However, I felt like that him being out there, he earned the respect from defenses and defensive coordinators, which helped out the rest of the room. Do you feel that the same way as a defender when you're out there?
That's definitely the case. Because think about it like this. We know Amari Cooper was hurt. He ended up having wrist surgery as soon as the season was over. So we know that was part of the compromising of his production. But as a defender, you respect the heck out of Amari Cooper a lot more than, with all due respect, any of our current wide receivers right now, right?
Correct.
When Amari Cooper is out there, Amari has already touched 1,000 yards multiple times. Amari Cooper is already a Pro Bowl. Amari Cooper is so proven, and he's done it in multiple spots. So it's not dependent on quarterback or scheme. He's a baller.
Right.
So if he is out there, you are going to respect it. You have to, because you know what it's capable of. Even on the back end, it's like, yo, it's still good enough, which we saw at times.
Yep.
But the thing is, it's like, all right, they clearly, in terms of the front office, identified this is a weakness. This is something that we want to address. And I'm just like, yo, we addressed it then partially, but we never really went back to address it. Even in the draft, even in free agency, even at the trade deadline. And that was my thing. Because I'm like, you made this move because you felt like that's what we needed. And this was after you drafted Keon Coleman also in that year. It wasn't like you just, I got one. No, you did it twice, 2 times.
Yeah.
And then you let that one leave. And it's like you never came back to it. And then you brought in Gabe, which was dope. But it was like, man, when are we going to get him? Now, he made his appearance versus the Texans. It was good to see him back out there. But once again, it's like, yo, it was part of the reason why we even allowed that to leave.
Exactly.
And you know, we know big game Gabe. We know that. But it was a reason, because it was like, yo, we need more of the in between them big games. Like, yeah.
Right. Yeah. I don't see how they didn't see the numbers pop when they traded for Cooper. Keon Coleman had his best game. That following week, that is, the numbers went up. Josh Allen's yards went up. Yards per throw went up. Everything went up. And I don't care if Amari Cooper.
If you're DB1 is not going to guard Keon Coleman if Amari Cooper is out there.
Exactly.
DB1 is going to go touch that guy, which now makes it more favorable for Keon and everybody else.
Yep.
No Amari Cooper, you're like, okay, if that's the number 1 guy over there, good luck to everybody else. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what you get. And teams are playing man. They're like, I don't have to respect this. Yeah.
Yep.
Dude, that's why I try to preach that to people. Some people are, Cooper, the stats, this, that. He only had snap count. I'm like, dude, I don't believe in coincidence. Like, the numbers don't lie. I know what I watched. The offense opened up. And that's with an older
as well.
Absolutely. Everything is better. The defenses have to respect you at that point. They have to know that you have another weapon that's more than capable of getting open. And then also, I'll go back in time even more, Arthur. When we had Brian Dable here, we had a guy named Isaiah McKenzie.
Shout out. Yep.
How about Isaiah McKenzie, who, come on, let's be real. Is Elijah Moore better than McKenzie? Probably. We're not even using him the same way. McKenzie had a role here, right? Because Brian Dable said, how can I make this guy good? How can I make this guy effective on this team? Well, he has real good speed. Let's do this. Let's do this with him. Let's mix it up. We have Diggs. They're looking at Diggs. But we also got this short, little fast dude that can, once in a while, pop something off, right?
Yeah.
And we don't do it here. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, the current, if this whole everybody eats thing was legit, right? And they wanted everybody to believe it. Okay, right? If this isn't, because Andy Reid, that's an everybody eats. They got guys that aren't like biggest names, but he knows how to scheme them up. If they sold us this and Brady could scheme everybody up that kind of way, I'd be all for the everybody eats and go, we don't need a one. Fine. He's doing all these crazy things, like different things, getting these guys, scheming them up in these crazy routes. But that's not the case. And that's where I feel like Bean should have saw that last year. And obviously he did. He didn't. Why would you make a trade for Cooper?
That's what I'm saying.
Then you have the whole offseason. Right. Then you got the whole offseason to figure it out, and you choose not to. And then you had another opportunity at the deadline for Waddle. And I got this from everybody too. They say to me, Tommy, even if we get Waddle, we're so depleted. We got so many holes on this team. It wouldn't make a difference. Well, you know what? Who cares? Because guess what? You got your number one.
They would have had that draft pick. Oh, they would have had that draft pick so quick. Oh man,
you have Waddle. You don't even need to worry about the one.
Not only do we have Waddle, we don't have to worry about defending against Waddle either.
Yep.
Think about that. Yeah.
Right. It's in the division.
Oh yeah, it's in the division. I can't, man.
So it's honestly like I can't forgive Bean for that. And I don't think Bean's done a terrible job here, but there's some things I feel like general managers and especially general managers and head coaches, they got to go outside the comfort zone once in a while. Yes. You got to take a little bit more chances, especially when you're in a window, right? When your window's open. And I feel like, and I want your opinion on this, and Aramis, I felt like we had a sliding glass door open for many seasons when the AFC East and really the AFC, there wasn't a lot of really good teams. It was the Bills, the Chiefs, and the Ravens, really. Right? We had a sliding glass door open. We wide open. And now I feel like we have a window open that's cracked, that's slowly closing.
It's a little crowded now.
Because all these other AFC teams.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you feel about that? You think the Bills kind of ruin their chance, like kind of are hurting their chances a little bit?
So hurting them to a degree, yes, because like you said, man, other teams are catching up, right? Or at least they feel like they're catching up. We'll see what that really is when December and the playoffs get here, right? Everybody feels nice right now, but as long as you got the quarterback, you always got a chance. And that's the one thing I would continue to say. As long as you got that piece, you can build around it. You're one receiver away from feeling way different because you got pass rushers, you got other pieces around here, but the window is definitely getting a little bit tighter. And Josh, you think about for Josh, it's like, man, we know he's not going to play forever. So you're constantly thinking about that as well. And with his style of play, okay, man, when does that start to have an impact or when does that start to show up? I think the past 2 years, he's done a way better job of protecting himself, not taking as many hits, not being as reckless with his body. But you still have to account for it, man. That's your quarterback and he takes hits. So as long as that's in play, absolutely, you feel like that clock is ticking and you got to keep going with more urgency with this thing. And that was part of why I was so frustrated about the Waddle thing when they came out about the draft pick, because to me, Waddle is more impactful than any draft pick that we were going to get for that spot. Yeah, that's just how I looked at it. And especially when we're talking about Josh Allen this season and for the next 2 seasons specifically, if we're trying to make a legitimate run, right? We feel like if this is our window right now, right? That player to me matters a lot more than that pick would matter. Yeah, and I don't even want to do that route of, all right, well, let's go and just go check out our last 5 picks first round, like how we feel about them. It's like, I don't want to do that, but I'm like, yo, why do we would be sitting here like, yeah, bro, yeah, he's up there. He's better than him. Yep, he's producing.
And and he would have gotten time with Josh in this season, even if things didn't work out. So they already build their chemistry going into 2026. So you know what I mean? It's not like they're newbies together, right? Yeah. I just thought it was a really you know what I think? I think he played hardball, and I think the Dolphins. I think the stove got cold. It was hot. They were willing to get rid of a lot of pieces, and we played hardball with the 2027 instead of 2026, and it backfired, and it was too late. And then he and then of course Bean gives us the whole runaround that he's unhappy, which I don't believe. If you were truly upset, you would have made the deal.
Like, if you wanted that badge, you would have said, F that pick, man. Go give me Waddle, bro.
Exactly. Like, I would have jumped all over it. 2027, let's go. Let's call.
Because you know what's going to happen now, right? Yeah. Hey, Tommy and Hermes, you know what's about to happen? Whoever the 2026 first round pick is,
bro, he's gonna be forever known. He's gonna be forever known. Yeah, people will never. I'm telling you, boy.
All right. There's something right there. He's like, yep. Hey, I feel bad for whoever that kid is, man.
we thought it was bad for Keon. It's gonna be way worse.
Yeah. Yep. I do got one thing, and I'll go ahead and play. And for those youngsters out there that don't know how, the man, the legend killer.
I was wondering.
Yeah, let's go ahead and play that. Let's go. A little bit of history.
This is the moment right here.
Like Solomon talked about, far.
That's
an interception. It's picked off by Florence.
Drayton Florence.
Another pick, the 18th.
Oh my God.
You remember they showed the slow motion from the backside?
Oh, they're going to show it. Yeah, they're going to show it.
Oh,
yeah. Boy, they knew Favre was hurting. Boy, they ran out there mighty quick. They'll show another replay, man. If you just putting that work in right here.
Guys. Shout out to the guys. Chris Kelsey, Reggie Tor. Oh man, Paul plus Leslie. I see you 5-1.
Here it is.
Like that too.
Walk over the body.
Oh man. So yeah, a little piece of history there. Legend killer.
Shout out, man. Hey,
did you guys ever talk, by the way? Like Brett, and Brett, like ever?
I wish we've never spoken about it. I've had people, kind of like third parties in between kind of reach out and talk about it, but yeah, he's like not having any of it, man.
No, you ruined his streak, by the way. You ruined his starting streak, right?
I did.
Yeah, his consecutive streaks.
I'm just
start.
glad that you noticed the step over because, like, in my mind, that was like my AI moment. Like, that was my
Dude.
not everybody witnesses it. AI
Right,
from the whole town, man. And like, I remember when he hit that shot stuff over Ty Lue, we was like, yo, that's ours, that's mine. And for sure, that was like my all right.
Dude, that was man. That was your moment for sure.
Yes,
Aramis, anything else, by the way? You got?
Yeah, man. Look, the question that you asked earlier when you were talking about and I'm trying to remember my train of thought now because I'm flooded with all this stuff about the hit.
Man, all this nostalgia I got going in here, man. I'm over here like, oh my god. I'm looking at the video like, yo, I know that player. I missed that guy. Oh, that's my man's right there. Oh,
yeah. So, all right. So let me start here because there's a couple of things that I wanted to touch upon before we get out of here. I know we're running short on time. We've watched a little bit of we've done some film review on my show where we kind of show some of the offensive linemen kind of stopping a little bit early on some of these plays. I mean, it was pretty prevalent in the Texans game there too. Can you just talk about, like, I know you've been in the film room where you see players, you know, kind of not doing what they're supposed to be. Like, what's the conversation like in the film room when stuff like that gets caught on film? Like, does the coach just like stop it and look at the player or something, or like, what's that like?
No, like, so honestly, man, you see it kind of both ways, man. I've seen some coaches where they would literally stop this. You put the highlight on it. It's like, you tell me what this is. Like, I want to hear from you because I can tell you what it looks like to me, but you tell me what this is. And you start going through it. He's like, yo, don't tell me you hurt. Don't tell me, you know, you tired. It's like, if you out there, why are you out here? If you're out here, you're supposed to do it to the best of your ability every single time, right? Is this a loaf? What is this? So it happens like that. And then you got the coaches where it's like, man, they don't even entertain it. They say to themselves, man, if I have to coach your effort, I got the wrong people out here, man. And that's when you start to see the rotation. You start saying, hey, man, that guy gets a rep or two in practice. And if you start little things like that, and before you know, it's like, yo, if it continues, that's how you address it. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. And it for sure was not cool because that's not how you're going to win a championship, man.
Yeah.
Your effort has to be always there every single time when you're on that field, man. And it's talented dudes too. That's the other part. So to me, I'm hopeful though, that with the leadership that they got in that locker room, man, Josh Allen is a heck of a leader, man. And you can see how the guys rally around him. I love even listening to Deion Dawkins, how he talks, right? Because like, man, you can hear the passion. You can hear that those guys are vocal leaders, not just best players. They're in there. They're present. You can see them. You can hear them. You can feel that. That's how you address that. I look at the locker room leaders and I say, man, you got to be the guys that really get on that because man, coaches, they don't got time to be doing this effort stuff. They need to be scheming. They need to worry about X's and O's.
Yeah.
If they worried about if you're going to play hard or not, bro, we ain't got time for that. They worry about if you're going to finish this block or not. If you're going to finish making this tackle or not. Are you going to chase? Like, yo, we don't have time to do that.
Yeah.
We got so many other things. Think about what we've been talking about with the offense, right? Think about what we talk about at times with the defense. If you're worrying about if this guy's going to finish the play or do it to the best of his ability, it's like, man, we wasting time. So that's the part from the player's perspective. You got to look at that and take the onus and say, man, you wasted my time too. I can't win if you're one of the 11 that's out here with me and you're not willing to go all the way there with me. No, that ain't gonna work. Yeah, it's too dependent upon each other. And that's it, all offense and defense, man. So that's the part where it's like, yeah, I look at those players, man. I'm just like, man, the Josh Allens of the world, the Deion Dawkins of the world, and even on the defense side of the ball, it's like, man, you got a Trey White over there. He's been around for a while, man. You got a Bosa over there. He knows how to lead.
Yeah.
Those are the dudes you got to look into, man. And those are the guys who, to me, step up and police that part of it.
Yeah.
Real quick before you go on, I know you probably have another question, Aramis, but real quick question. So in 2011, you went from George Edwards, to Dave Weinstedt. What was the difference between them two? Because Dave was known as a good defensive coordinator, but different personalities, I'm sure. So talk to us about Dave from Chicago.
Shout out to Weinstedt, man.
Yeah.
So Weinstedt, oh man, Chicago dude, but he actually coached at Pitt. So like they love him down here from collegiately, like what he was doing, right? So for me, man, Weinstedt was different because Weinstedt wasn't my DC initially. He was my linebackers coach. Remember that second year, George Edwards was still the DC. They fired him, and then
and midway through the season, they bumped up Wannstedt, made him the DC.
Okay.
Prior to that, my first introduction to Wannstedt is we're in meetings. You know, he's the guy coming in with like the Hawaiian like Miami Vice polo button down shirts. I'm like, hey, bro, this is Buffalo, man. Where are you going? You know what I mean? And he talked that like, oh, you know, it's like it's just old school. Like that was him, man. But it was cool when he went from, you know, the position coach where it's a lot of one-on-one conversations. You're seeing the more personal side of him. And then when he goes to the defensive coordinator element, now you see him as, you know, the overseer, the guy that has to direct and lead, which was a little bit different from my perspective. But you can see where, yeah, this dude has done this before. He's been a head coach before. He's had success before. So he knows how to lead it. But stylistically, like even when they would talk, like George Edwards, I would feel like I'm at like my parents' church back in the 757 because he got a log in his mouth. He's drenched in sweat. And he's talking so loud, like he's preaching a sermon. Hey, you gotta go right here. And when it happens right here, you're gonna hear right there. All right, you got that? Next play. All right, boom. Hey, so then we're gonna hear right here. You got that right there. Hey, Mo, is it Meg or is it Stubby? Oh, it's Meg. All right, good. Next play. Boom. You'd be like, bro, what? And I feel like he'd be by the time we're done leaking. And I would be like, yo, I feel like I'm listening to my dad preach. I feel like I'm at church right now, bro. It's like, it's so loud. It's so much energy, just so much passion. And then you got ones, they were just, all right, now we're going to get him with this right here. And just going to come right here. We're going to gut him. We're going to gut him right here. All right. You don't got to do a lot of plays. You're just going to gut him. All right. When I was in Dallas, we shoot a couple plays right here. And that's how we did it. Right. He was like, all right, bro, let's go. Once. I believe you then, bro. Yeah, man. If it work for you, work for me, bro. I know your name. Like, I know you. Yeah. So that was that, man. But both of those dudes were cool. And then, you know, I get Mike Pettin at the end of it, who was all the way different than those dudes. Because Pettin was nice with it, but Pettin was like the inversion of a Rex Ryan. Like he had that type of confidence, that type of mentality of knowing it, but he was so anti-talking loud because he's like, nah, man, that's what they do over there. I want to say I'm undersell, I'm over deliver. Undersell, over deliver. That's all he kept saying, undersell, over deliver. And every single time, and I think back 2013, how well we played defensively, it was like, yo, he lived up to it. Did, you know, obviously he gets the head coaching gig in Cleveland after that. Yeah, we know it didn't, you know, work out the best for him, but man, I loved Mike Pettin, man. I actually considered going to Cleveland before I came to Pittsburgh because of Pettin, man, taking that job over there, man, just because of like how, for me, I felt like, man, I had really developed a lot. And at that standpoint, like you talk about going from DN, I was full-time inside linebacker then. And I'm like, yo, I know this, man. I'm playing fast. I feel confident. And yeah, he was one of the dudes I was definitely considering going to Cleveland with him, man.
Okay. Wow. Hey, Aramis, you got something else?
Yeah, last one, and this is probably the biggest one. Saving
the biggest for last.
Gotta do it. Going out with a bang. So as a player, what's your reaction when you see your quarterback say, "What are we doing?"
Oh, Josh. Aramis.
I told you. I don't play, bro. No. I don't play.
Whenever you see that, bro, you know it's all bad. You know something's bad. All right, it is all bad. It is all bad, man. Look, especially if we talking Josh Allen. All right, you should never see that. Okay, when you see that frustration, when you see that, he's like, yes, bro. Whoever has made him react like this, me personally, you should be fired. But I digress. It's like, yo, bro, don't piss off the money like that, man. You know how that man plays. But no, as a whole, man, I never got that experience until I got to Pittsburgh. And by then, you know, Big Ben, man, he was so like established, like you never really could see that. But man, if you ever see your quarterback, oh my goodness, man. That ain't what you want. But yeah, my experience with the quarterbacks was I had a different batch of quarterbacks when I was.
You did.
Yeah,
all right.
You did.
Edwards is where it starts at. Shout out to Ryan Fitzpatrick. All right, I was there for I was there for all of the mania. Okay, shout out for that. Shout out to let's see. I got a Jeff Toole in there. I got a Thad Lewis in there. I got an EJ Manuel in there. Yeah, shout out to the guys. Am I forgetting? I feel like I'm forgetting somebody also in there.
Were you there for JP?
I think no, I missed JP. JP was before me. I got
earlier.
Trent.
I think JP
I got
was
Trent
earlier.
The first three, and then we cut Trent. And I remember being so shocked. I'm like, yo, we cut our starting quarterback. Oh my God.
And then it was like, oh, Ryan Fitzpatrick was like, oh, all right, well, he's cool. I like this dude. And then we traded Beast Boy, and I'm like, yo, what are we doing again? This is crazy. I don't like this. I don't like this NFL stuff, man.
Right.
Yeah. Quarterback stability was like a foreign language to me until I got to Pittsburgh. I was like, oh man, like that was different. So that's why, like, when I see Josh and Buffalo, I'm like, yo, hold on to this man forever. Do whatever it takes to get this guy.
Absolutely.
Okay? You do not do anything that could shorten this in any capacity, man, because y'all know how long it was before we had him. All right. It was a long time between him and Jim Kelly. Okay. I love my dog Fitzpatrick. Shout out to Fitzmagic. But it was man. Yeah.
Yeah. We've been on almost 2 hours, man. I don't want to keep you too much longer. I know you had a bunch of podcasts on earlier today. I saw you on earlier with your guy. We'll quickly dive into the Bills-Steelers game that's coming up Sunday. So what's your thoughts on that game? And what's your prediction? What's the outcome you're seeing?
Man, I'm excited about the game. I think for both teams, they're going to come in pissed off and hungry. Number one, Buffalo lost a game versus the Texans on Thursday night where plenty of variables for excuses, but end of the day, didn't win. So whenever that happens in Buffalo, it's like, man, you know what you're competing for. You're trying to win a championship this year, not next year, not 5 years from now. So they're going to be fired up. My big thing for them is I want to see them be a lot more healthy. I thought Thursday they just looked banged up. I mean, how many times we were watching, it's like everybody's getting up so slow off the ground. O-line, Josh, defenders. I'm like, dang, going. So I feel like a healthier version, we should see a better group. Now, we still going to have some of those questions in terms of our run defense. That's the part that I want to see how Buffalo responds versus Pittsburgh there. Pittsburgh on the other side, they're up and down. It's like, man, talented, can be elite at times on defense, and then can kind of give up a lot of yardage on defense, right? Offensively, which quarterback is out there, right? When Rodgers has been healthy, he's looked good the majority of the time in terms of just being the, high-level game manager, being able to take some shots down the field, but they still got wide receiver issues, and that's the issue that they're having. So to me, it's going to be that mix of if Buffalo can get their running game going versus the Steelers defense, Buffalo's going to be feeling great about it because now Josh doesn't have to be the one dropping back every time and dealing with the crazy pass rush over there, right? And just putting more pressure on him when we know receiver-wise, there's still some struggles there, right? Yeah. Then when you're talking about Buffalo defensively, it's like, man, can they stop that run? Got to stop that run. Now, Pittsburgh this season hasn't ran the ball great, but you got to stop the run. And that's the thing right now where I'm just like, I'm looking at that part of this thing, and I'm saying that's going to tell me one way or the other with this. But I do think it's super close. I think it's a good game, man, because even with the inefficiencies with the Bills, when you have a Josh Allen that at any point in time can go for, we seen him score 6 touchdowns at one point this season, right? When you have that type of playmaking, you are always in it. Always. Yeah. And all you need is a receiver to have a day, right? At times it's been Keon Coleman. At times it's been Khalil. We've seen Palmer have a day, right? We've seen Shavers make a play or two. It's like, yo, all you need is one of those, and it just changes the feeling. And then we go back to everybody eats, right? So that's the flip side for, with Buffalo. It's like, that's how I'm seeing that. Pittsburgh, they're going to want to do the physical thing. They're going to try to win the turnover battle because that's how they win. Turnovers and just bullying you. Like, it isn't pretty. It's not style points. The fans hate it. I'll be over here because I'm a football purist. I love it. I'm like, yo, this is the phone booth. I want to put you in a phone booth and let's punch each other till somebody drops. That's what they want to do. So who can get the game in their style? I think that's going to dictate a lot of this. Because for Buffalo, they want to play it in space. They want to be able to, light it up a little bit, run it up. Let's have some fun with this thing. That's the Bills way. Bills 30 plus, it's a great day, right? Pittsburgh 20 or under. Way different mindset. Different mindset.
Right.
Yep. And you even saw that with the playoff matchup. What was that 2 years ago, right? Yeah. With Mason Rudolph up there, it was like, they want to phone booth it, and then it was like it was phone booth until Josh stepped around and then he hit you, and then Josh with the bomb. You like, all right, bro, pause.
Right. Yeah.
That's a lot.
I would say he's the ultimate X factor, right? Like he's the all right, the one that the player that's glowing, right? So one more thing, and then we're gonna, I don't know if I play the Real Men of Genius videos. I don't know if you remember them, but I always play 2 per episode. So one more question, and my thoughts on this is the record will never ever be broken. But I'll ask your opinion. Bruce Smith, 200 sacks. Will it ever be broken?
I don't see it honestly. I think the two dudes that got the best chance, TJ Watt, Myles Garrett. I don't think TJ is going to be able to sustain it at this level long enough to catch Bruce. Bruce, bro, 200 sacks is crazy.
Yes.
Like
in his age, Arthur, like he was still
and how long he played.
Yes.
Like 60. It's like, yo. And he was still getting 10 sacks on the back end. Like it wasn't like he fell off a cliff. Julius Peppers to me was probably like the closest modern of that, like super longevity, and even on the back end being able to make those plays. But I'm like, I think TJ or Myles Garrett has probably the best chance. But like I said, that's a grind. You got to stay healthy.
Grind.
You got to be like we talk not late 20s. We talking late 30s still.
Right.
Bowling.
Right.
Like
right. And I think my thing is I hear like the new age NFL like players. I feel like a lot of them get out a little bit earlier now because there's other money. There's money outside to be made with podcasts and whatever. Even working for the NFL, working doing commentary, whatever. That's one. I feel like, and two, I feel like you said, you got to stay healthy. Right. Bruce only got hurt 1 year. He was only 1 year. And then you got to be consistent. You gotta be consistent every single year and not get an injury in that long run, right? So Von Miller was remember Von?
Yeah,
Von was like, I'm gonna get it. It's my mission.
Yep.
Not even close.
No, not even close.
JJ Watt, remember him? Everyone's like, oh, JJ Watt, watch out, JJ. I love him. He's a great player. Von, great player, but not even stepping close.
I'm like, when you talk about just look at Bruce, his last like 6 years in the league. Just look at that part, and it's like, bro,
it's wild.
I don't see that, man. That's freaky. That's rare.
Yeah,
I'm just glad he's from the 757. I'd be like, yo, he's one of ours. All right, that's ours. Okay, that's what we do. Pass rushes. Okay, the king, set king. All right.
And he did the Stairmaster, by the way.
See,
that was
bro.
his.
Hey, look,
that was his workout.
To this day, you get to Buffalo, and that's what they tell you, yo. Bruce is the Stairmaster. I remember George Edwards telling you, yo, Bruce is the Stairmaster. And I have a Stairmaster at my crib because it was like, yo, Bruce did that. So my whole crib was like, yo, whatever you do the Stairmaster. You got to do Stairmaster. Bruce is the Stairmaster, bro. Facts. I promise you. Facts, bro. Yep.
You want to last long in this league? That's the trick.
As we say, it's Stairmaster. They be like, yo, it don't matter what you do. No matter if you go out, no matter if you practice, Stairmaster. Always the Stairmaster. I'm like, all right, bro. And religious, I'll be on that Stairmaster. I'm like, bro, I don't even know what this thing is. My legs is burning. My quads is on fire. And they like, yo, and they like, don't hold on to the rails. Keep your hands down. But you sound like, what? They're like, oh my god.
No, I would have passed out. I tried training for the firefighters exam too, and they had that like 8 minutes straight or something like that. I was dying after 2. I'm like, how many more minutes I got? No.
All right.
Myers can have it.
Oh my god. Hey, so there it is. So come on, Arthur. I gotta hook you up.
Yeah, man.
I gotta hook you up.
Here, man.
So Arthur, tell us before we get out of here and before I play Real Man of Genius, let us know like what you got going on, where they can find you, any upcoming events, and obviously your book.
Yeah, no, without a doubt, man. For anybody's looking for me, man, my website's arthurmoats.com. Got a couple of YouTube channels out there, man. For my Steelers people, Arthur Moats 55. I got a Bills channel as well, Arthur Moats 52, and my sneakerheads kicking it with Moats. But my book, man, the Moats Theory of Life, man. I wrote this, man, right after I retired. Just more so talking about some of the principles, some of the things that I use in my day-to-day life and what had really helped me get to kind of where I am in today. So in breaking it down off of my last name, M, making happiness a priority. O, openness leads to strength, right? Because we talk about as men, we don't want to talk about what we struggle with, but it's like, man, when you're open as a collective, man, we're going to get closer, right? A, actively seeking to inspire. I feel like it's important to not just be a good person. It's important to impact others, to give back, to make those around you better. So that's why I included that. And then T, turning fear into focus. We all have something that we feel mentally is too big of a dream, is too big of an ass, is too big of a thought. But heck, man, what if you take that and instead of using it to block you, what if you use it to push you from a motivational standpoint, like you're getting chased from a dog? You're like, hey, bro, I gotta go. And now who knows what you might be able to accomplish. And then the last thing was the letter S, and I always said smile because you see me smile all the time, but I broke it down to SMILE. Spread my inner love everywhere, because I truly feel like in our core, we're all good people, different perspectives and different things to make us guard that. But in our core, love is there, man. We're not born talking about I hate you. Nah, that ain't never the case, man. So that's learned, that's developed over time. But it's like, man, just a simple smile. Think about how that makes you feel when I smile at you. The same way I feel when you smile at me. It makes me feel good. It makes you feel welcome. It makes you feel a part of something, right? Even on the surface level. So that's why I always, I thought that was another important thing to include, because that's kind of what I try to implement on my day to day. And it's, helped me through my 37 years to, be where I'm at right now in life.
There you go. Where can they find the book, by the way?
Yeah, man. They can find that on the website, also arthurmoats.com as well, man. So tap in there. They also have it on Amazon as well for the Amazon folk out there. All right. So that's how we do it, man. But yeah, man, definitely tap in. I've only had good reviews, so that's another positive. All right.
Hey, look at that. See?
I haven't ran into anybody that says, I hate your book, you stink. Like, I haven't had that happen. So hopefully we can keep this thing going. All right.
Yeah, please keep it going. I don't want to read a bad review on that. Sounds like an awesome book.
Like, yo, this is great. They're like, yo, this is so motivation. I appreciate it. I'm like, it's self-help. It's not autobiography, because I don't think I'm cool enough to have an autobiography. So I went self-help. I include some of mine, but it's self-help. I'm just throwing it out there. All right.
All right.
Like cool people. Yeah.
We're gonna hit two real men of genius. And Arthur, if you don't mind, stick around after we get off air. Yeah. So, all right, here we go. First one. Here you go.
Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius.
Real men of genius.
Today we salute you, Mr. Losing Locker Room Reporter.
Mr. Losing Locker Room Reporter.
Wherever a semi-naked man is crying like a schoolgirl because he lost a ball game, you are there.
So sad, too bad now.
Why did they lose? Because some millionaire dropped the ball. A millionaire who needs a mic stuck in his face on national television.
Oh, no.
Go ahead, wear your cashmere blazer to work. No one's going to pour champagne on it where you're going.
They're just losers.
So crack open an ice cold Bud Light, oh bringer of bad news. You're not a big loser. You just interview them.
Don't wanna talk about it.
Bud Light.
Shout out to the
Dude,
shout out.
I wish they bring these back, bro. I absolutely love these. I've been playing them all year.
I don't think today's society can handle that, though. You're too soft.
Are you listening to? I'm just listening. It's like, yo, you got some big millionaire just dropped the ball. You just put a mic in his face and cry next with him. I'm like, yo, talk spicy to him, baby. I like it.
Oh
Let's go.
All right. One more and we'll get out of here. Let's do, I guess we'll
got Hugh over there with the stick face on, too.
Bud Light
this one's
presents
for keys.
Real Men of Genius.
Real men of genius.
Today we salute you, Mr. Airport Baggage Handler.
Mr. Airport Baggage Handler.
Why just set a bag down when you can throw it, kick it, or simply ignore it?
It's time for my lunch break.
SFO, ORD, LAX. The complex airport codes are almost unsolvable. But that's okay, because thanks to you, everything's going to Tulsa.
That's in Oklahoma.
When comforting a traveler about a lost bag or a treasured family pet, you need only remember 3 simple words. Airline not responsible. So crack open an ice cold Bud Light, oh king of the carousel. You give us all a reason to carry on.
Mr. Airport Baggage
Bud Light beer.
Mr. Airport Bag Handler. Society is
know they definitely can't handle that right now. That's
No. They freak out, bro. Oh man. Hey, Arthur, it was a blast having you on.
Reading this, just go to back to this.
Kick it, leave it. Yeah, go to lunch. Who cares?
17 an hour? Man, it's going to Toronto.
Yeah. Hey, we ain't responsible.
We're good. Hey, airport not responsible. And the thing is, we all can relate to that. Like, yo, we all have
100%.
had a traveling story. Like, oh my gosh. So yeah. Oh man, that's funny.
Dude. Man. Hey, I had a blast today with you, Arthur. Aramis, man, thank you for being my special co-host tonight. You rocked as well. Man, hey, Arthur, you're welcome back anytime. I really do appreciate it, man. So, hey, Bills Mafia, you guys killed it too in the chat. Man. Yeah, hey, Arthur, man, I appreciate you. I really do, man. Bills Mafia in the chat. We out. You guys are the best too. Bills Mafia, you guys rule. I'm out. Go Bills. Peace.
Peace.
Just let your soul go. Just let it shine through. Just let